Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the final round of the Rugby Championship 2022 competition. This game, there is a lot on the line for the All Blacks. They still have a chance of winning the Rugby Championship, but they do need more than likely this win over Australia, which was a very close game last week for the first game of the Bledisloe. This one is the second. It's at a sold-out Eden Park. Still quite a few people to make their way to their seats by the looks of it for this monumental test match for both of the sides. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're excited. Only 35 minutes away from kickoff. We will be going through that as a massive hot dog that person had at Eden Park. I wonder how much that would have cost. But looking through, first of all, at the starting lineups and reserves for both of these sides. Then we'll jump into the table and a few other head-to-head stats to look at before we get into the match. But first of all, New Zealand, the side that they have gone with in this match, very similar to what we saw last week, although we have got a few changes scattered throughout there for the ABs. Ethan de Groot as number one, number two, Cody Taylor added into the starting lineup. I was a bit surprised by this announcement, as Samisoni Taukei'aho has certainly been one of the informed hookers of the Rugby Championship, actually leading try scorer. Instead, he will be coming off the bench. And then Tyrell Lomax slotting in there at number 3, looking through at the locks. Broder Retallick at number 4 and Sam Whitelock at 5. A lot of experience between those two individuals, and they will be looking to use every bit of it up against the Aussies here. Akira Ioane gets a start at number 6. Number 7, Dalton Papali'i. That is due to no Sam Cane. And then at number 8, it will be Ardie Savia. So actually a whole new loose forward trio than what they had for last week's match. The ABs looking through at the back line will be Aaron Smith at number 9, Richie Mo'unga at number 10. So they have stuck with that combo. Then Geordie Barrett moves to inside centre. Was in the starting lineup last week. That time playing at fullback. Now finds himself slotting in as one of the centre pairing. Alongside him on the outside, it will be Rika Ioane, who will be slotting in at number 13. So Tuivasa Sheck does not get a start. Instead, will be coming off the bench just a little bit later on. Caleb Clark at number 11. Number 14, it will be Will Jordan. And then at number 15, to close out the starting lineup, there's going to be Beauden Barrett. We are used to seeing a Barrett at fullback, but not normally Beauden, not for the last little while anyway. So that will be an interesting change to see. We have got coming the All Blacks, says Michelle, also up the mighty ABs, says David. And also, did you manage to catch the Black Ferns game? I got to see some of it. Me and George ended up doing some afternoon recording, so it did take up a little bit of the afternoon. I did only get to see a little bit of the Waikato versus Wellington Bunnings EPC game also. I was juggling between the two. I saw a very high score, though, in favour of the Black Ferns over the Japanese. We have got good evening, Master Hamish, says David the Mob. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Hope you're excited for this contest at Eden Park. And also morning from England, says Harry. And the Black Ferns just beat Japan at Eden Park by 95-12. Looking good for the World Cup coming up, says Cooper Cronk. Yeah, certainly will be a good one to build a bit of confidence heading into that Women's World Cup, which is only a couple weeks away, which is very awesome indeed. Interesting lineup. Also, hello everyone, says Dark Scar Flame. Also, what time in Hawke's Bay, Hastings, will the All Blacks versus Wallabies Game 2 air on Sky Sports, says Cyrus. So if you're in Hawke's Bay, and it's going to be on Sky Sport 1, and that will be kickoff at 7:05 p.m. So about 30 minutes away from the game getting underway. We have got 1 to 2. Darcy's coming for you. 3 to 4. Better lock your doors. And 5 to 6, says Gareth Ferguson. Of course, Darcy Swain, one of the big changes for the Wallabies. He will not be there for them in this match or the Australia A Series or some of the matches of the November International. Springbok fan tuning in here for a good game. Keen to see how quickly the Wallabies take those penalties, says Charles de Kock. Yeah, a very rare, I guess, time-wasting / taking a bit too long free kick that we have seen. We hardly see it here in the Southern Hemisphere. We see it a little bit more for the top 14. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck already actually got a bit of strapping around the head. I assume he's taken a big knock during the training. He'll be excited, though, to get out there for the All Blacks. I just hope he gets more time than he did throughout the Irish tour, as that was only the last couple minutes of a game. Looking through at the Australian lineup, James Slipper, Dave Parecki, and Alan Alatoa as the front row, so unchanged from what they went with in Bledisloe Cup 1. Then Jed Holloway at number 4, Kadrian Neville at 5. That is the change due to Darcy Swain being out. A little bit of a reshuffle in the loose forward trio. Instead of Rob Leota at number 6, they have gone with Rob Valentini, who was playing at number 8 in last week's contest. Pete Samu at number 7. He was strong, having the most running meters out of any forward throughout the match. And then Harry Wilson, the Reds representative, make his way back into the AB side. Or sorry, not the AB side, the AU side for the Wallabies. Jake Gordon gets the start at number 9. Bernard Foley at 10, then Lalakai Feketi and Len Ikatel. The midfield combination that has been tearing it up for the Wallabies. They'll be looking forward to making their way out onto the park for this one. Marika Koromperi out on the left wing. Out on the other wing, it will be Tom Wright and Andrew Callaway coming off a double. He will be there at number 15. Hi, Amish, everyone. And 1:34 a.m. Central Standard Time, Saturday morning in Arkansas, USA, kickoff time. So we have got 30 minutes. So we'll be roughly around that 2:05 a.m. start. Let's hope the ABs do a better job compared to last week's game, says Dark Scar Flame. And it's an interesting point because looking at the All Blacks for their previous records throughout the Rugby Championship, they have a rough first game, and then the second game up against any side, they do a whole lot better. The first game up against the Springboks, they lost by 16. The second match, they won it by 12. Looking at the games up against Argentina, they lost the first game by 7. They won the second game by 50. They won this first game by 2 points. That is the only real difference. It's the fact that the All Blacks were able to get themselves a win this time in the first contest rather than losing it. Will we see the All Blacks go out there, try and put an extra 30 points on Australia, or will the Wallabies be fired up after last week, be able to really hang with the ABs early on at Eden Park and then take it to them in the final moments of the game? Pete Samu finally got a shot last week, played well, says Joe Webby. And yeah, they have got a very class player in Tate McWright. Or sorry, not Tate McWright. I've combined the two. Fraser McWright coming off the bench for the Wallabies. I think he could also be very effective when he does get the chance. And then if they want to, they could possibly have a bit of a reshuffle. Maybe Valentini goes to number 8, Pete Samu to 6, and then Fraser McWright goes into number 7. The Clouds look ominous. I suck at this word. Ominous, sorry. Should be all right for the game, fingers crossed. And also, I'm South African. I know the Wallabies winning is better outcome for my team. But if that, I hope the ABs absolutely thrash the Aussie, says Gareth there. New Zealand 30 to Australia 14. Looking through at the benches, then we will look at the table and the implications on the line for both of these teams. For New Zealand, like I mentioned, Samasoni Takiaho, the leading try scorer of the comp with 4. He is there coming off the bench instead of starting. Ofa Tuangafasi at number 17, Nipololala at 18, then Tupava'ai, Hoskins Atutu, Finley Christie, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and then Sevu Reece. So quite a few returns into the All Blacks lineup, including Tuangafasi, Lulala, and also Va'ai. Satutu, he had 1 game, but he will be looking for a few more minutes in this one. And then also with Tuivasa-Sheck and Reece making their way back in for almost one of the first times of this Rugby Championship. If I'm not wrong, I believe the All Blacks have been going with Will Jordan 14 every single time. Maybe. I think that is correct, but it could be slightly wrong. Then for Australia, it will be Falau Fainga'a at number 16. Angus Bell makes his way in there for Scott Seo at number 17. Pone Fa'amasili gets to keep his spot at number 18. Nick Frost at 19. Fraser McWright, the man I mentioned a bit earlier on, at number 20. Nick White at 21. Reece Hodge with that long boot and the dangerous kicking game that he can possess late in a game at 22. And then number 23, it is Jordan Pataya, an explosive winger or centre, depending on where they decide to put him. Can certainly turn a game around for the Wallabies. And also, not only did my Eels make the grand final, but our halfback Mitchell Moses missed the birth of his child, go New Zealand. I watched the AFL grand final up the Cats, and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck equals return, says Stephen Bissett. Yeah, the last time that he did get the opportunity, it was in the Irish tour. He got a few minutes off the bench, not too much time at all. So he will be looking to get a bit more for this match. And also, ABs don't seem to do well at the Marvel Stadium when it comes to rugby. It's probably because they don't play there very often at all. So maybe it is just a little bit of the unknown. Also, a lot of smoke around in the early stages of the matches. Both sides had to pretty much inhale some terrible smoke, I would think, while waiting for the smoke to clear. And how's it, Hamish? Hope you're well. Who do you think will take the Rugby Championship, says Andre? So that is a great question. And we look now at the table, the way that it sits. So New Zealand and South Africa, they are both sitting there on 14 points. Now, theoretically, if New Zealand win this game, but they don't get the bonus point, they will move up to 18 points. Depending on the points differential, we could be looking at South Africa needing to win their game either with a bonus point or win it by a certain margin to be able to overtake the All Blacks. Currently a 13 points difference. So no matter what, South Africa need 2 more converted tries than the All Blacks to be able to get themselves the Rugby Championship for 2022. The All Blacks at Eden Park, though, normally do very well. So I'm going to say that South Africa, they're going to have to beat Argentina probably by about 30 points with a bonus point to be able to get the Rugby Championship in their favour. The thing is, though, from what we saw from South Africa last week, at times throughout that game, they are certainly capable of doing such a thing. but they need to make sure that they play for the full 80 in South Africa. Don't make too many mistakes. If they can do that, they could possibly get that Rugby Championship. The thing is, though, hear me out. There is still an option for the Aussies to be able to win the Rugby Championship. New Zealand, they would have to lose this game by more than 7 at Eden Park for the first time in a very, very long time, but they would move up to 15 points if they got themselves the bonus point. That is the only way that the Aussies can get themselves the Rugby Championship. And then if South Africa did lose by more than the 7 points to Argentina, it would actually mean that South Africa do end up finishing, I believe it would be third, New Zealand second, and Australia up there at number 1. So theoretically, every side can still win the Rugby Championship other than Argentina, but they can certainly stop a team from being able to win it. That being in the box we have got, as long as Australia lose, it's okay. Any idea who the ref is? Says Joe Webby. I seem to struggle to find the referees for some reason now. I feel like I'm looking at the wrong site because I spent a long time looking for it for one of the other games, and I just couldn't find the guy, but I'll have another look and see if I can find exactly who I need. I assume we'd have to be due for a South African ref. We've had a couple Northern Hemisphere fellows, the French ref, the Georgian ref. I think it's about time we have a South African ref. So that's my slight prediction, although the only South African ref that I can think of is probably Jaco Piper. So I don't know whether or not he is actually in New Zealand. And what is the time there, says Jabez? Currently, it is 6:42 p.m. New Zealand time. So the game will be kicking off in only about 20 minutes' time. Let's hope he's French. Says Obi, and also, yes, Gareth, and also, come on, Wallies. And also, what are the odds for this game? I know New Zealand come in as the favourites, of course, with Eden Park. That is normally the case no matter who they are playing. But I would say that after last week's performance, maybe not quite as much of a favourite as they would have liked to be heading into Eden Park. So the referee, if I get lucky, will show up down the bottom of this one. It's going to tell me the top scorers for the competition. It doesn't tell me who the referee is, though. So hopefully, I think the ref is Indian. And Jaco Piper sucks. Hope he's not the ref, says Cooper Cronk. There's a chance that he could be, though. You never quite know in the competition. And also, if New Zealand, hope they lose, says Kobus. And with a name like Kobus, I would more than likely assume you are South African. So that is actually, I mean, minus the fact that maybe you hate the Kiwis, it's a good attitude to have. You do want New Zealand to lose so that South Africa have the door wide open for them to be able to go on and win the Rugby Championship. The thing is, if New Zealand lose this game by more than 7, all South Africa have to do is not lose by 7 points or more, even if they receive 1 point for losing to Argentina. That, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Don't yell at me yet. But if that does happen and they lose by 6 points per se, they will still win the Rugby Championship. My question is, how many Rugby Championship trophies do we have? Because if it's in New Zealand and New Zealand lose, will it arrive in South Africa in time for this kind of trophy celebration? Or will it more than likely go and maybe be a double up till they get the real one? And Argentina are going to throw the kitchen sink table and all the utensils at the Springboks. It's going to be tough, says Andre. And also we have got there, I think he says Cooper Cronk. And also thanks, Brew, says Kobus in there as well. But yeah, a close Rugby Championship at the moment. We have seen that the Aussies, this stage compared to the Kiwis, they have had 4 less tries throughout their matches, but they are still one of those sides that can certainly score tries in a hurry if they do get the opportunity. We saw that with Andrew Callaway, all but got himself the hat trick. Average try score per game, 3.8, compared to the 3. And also Malo Hamish, like Uso says Kingito, I had to wear it, of course, with the fact that we are sitting here for the final 2 matches of the Rugby Championship. The suit had to come out. I believe we got the suit for almost the rest of the night. And beer all the way, mate. If we win or lose, says Kobus, Bushoff. And also, come on, kick off, says it was crazy and said, yeah, we are currently 20 minutes away. We're getting closer, slowly and steadily building towards the kickoff of this matchup at Eden Park. The good news is, because it's played in New Zealand, we know that it's going to be kicked off more than likely by 7:06. Whereas if it was in Australia, it may have ended up being somewhere around 10 minutes after the scheduled kickoff. Andrew Brace is the ref tonight, Hamish, the one that did last game's sideline ref. Andrew Brace, where is he from? English ref? I think at ARDAL says Grumless. Welcome in. Hope you are doing very well and you are excited for this one. An interesting stat here is that set play and phases, the goal kicking success of Australia is actually 100% throughout this whole Rugby Championship. At least that's what it's telling me anyway. I don't know whether that's for just the last game or all throughout the Rugby Championship, but if that is the case, that is actually a very impressive stat to have for the Aussies compared to the 89% that New Zealand have been able to kick. The scrum success a little bit low for both of these sides. And the first try scorer, Jordan, says Obi straight away. Yeah, well, Jordan, he's always a tough man to knock back in a try scoring scenario. But I'm going to say Australia score the first try of this game. I think they're going to come out firing. They'll still have that slight chip on their shoulder from last week's game. And as they should, they were so close to being able to get themselves a victory. They fought back extremely well. It was just what they did a little bit earlier on in the game that did mean that they gave away too many points. So if they come out firing in this contest, I think we're going to see a try from Marika Korambeti as the opening try scorer. And this one, a French ref says running stories and also Ireland. Andrew Brace from Ireland. There you go. That makes sense. I'm terrible at remembering where referees are from, unfortunately. Oh, it's raining at Eden Park. That is something else we should mention. Last time the All Blacks played in rain, they were able to put on 50 points more than their opposition, whereas Australia, have they played any games in rain so far throughout the Rugby Championship? I want to say no, but maybe one of those games up against game up against South Africa, they did end up losing, and that was actually a game that was played in a bit of rough weather. Ireland's Andrew Brace will oversee the test with Reynolds' compatriot Pierre Brousset. I always suck with French names on the other touchline, and Wales being Whitehouse as the TV official, and also Andrew Brace of Ireland. Hope everyone will have their stopwatches ready for this game. We need to nitpick everything now, says Red 7. The thing is, if I had showed up to this live stream with a stopwatch, so many people would have gotten very angry at me. I can tell you that. And I'm calling a draw, says Johnny. So that would be a very interesting one. If they did end up drawing this game, it would put the All Blacks up onto 16 points, which would mean that South Africa did need to get themselves the win. So an 80% chance that the All Blacks win this game. But if it is a draw, I assume that the draw will be relatively low on the odds there. New Zealand 13 plus is $1.67 compared to the All Blacks by 1 to 12, $2.70. Even Australia to win by 1 to 12 is paying $6 on the New Zealand TAB. So they're confident the All Blacks are going to fire back, but it's going to be interesting to see exactly how it does end up going. We have also got the Northern Hemisphere refs. Used to be real difficult with Southern Hemisphere sides. And also we have got that. It was just two different rugby cultures at that time. And also we got blame it on the rain. Millie Vanilli. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And also we have got their Garris on CS Cobus. And also we have got there a little bit earlier on. Hey there, I'm well. Hope you are too. And also, damn, it's been final day, says Cooper Cronk. Yeah, the weather just looking like it's starting to decide, wants to start pouring down, says Rugby Itch there as well. The big thing is the All Blacks, they need a bonus point win just to feel a little bit more comfortable. If the All Blacks win this game, theoretically, if they won it by 15 points, that would mean South Africa would have to win their game by 28 points plus a bonus point on top. And also, you're having a KFC for dinner tonight. Might need to put up a donation for dinner tonight, says Dark Scar Flame. So the plan is actually going to be, we've got streams all throughout the evening, which is first of all going to be the All Blacks versus Australia. After that, on the Kiwi Lad Sport channel, we are going to be doing the match of the NRL, the semi-final between the Panthers and also the Rabbitohs. Then after that, we've got the game taking place between the Stormers and also... Oh, no, I've forgotten who they're playing at the moment. The Stormers, I know they're playing a decent opposition, though, so I do apologise for forgetting who it is. I believe it's actually, is it Cardiff that they are playing, or have they already played? They actually already played. I can't actually remember who they're playing, which is a bit of a shame. Then we are doing the Springboks versus the Pumas. Then after that, we are thinking about doing Lions in their game up against the Ospreys, depending on how tired my eyes are after being awake for almost 24 hours. And also we have got there in the chat, I say it's a draw 23 all and prediction AB's 35, Aussie 20. Can we win this game? I hope so. And hi, Hamish, love your commentary, says Kevin. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing very well. Listening from Fiji. We're close, but the ABs will win, says YouTube user. And good evening, Hamish, says JJ. And All Blacks to win by 9. Connacht, that is the team that they have got. That's going to be a tough opposition for the Stormers in their first game back. Connacht, one of those dark horse Irish sides. And you got the winning suit for the ABs tonight, bro. I also wore the suit, though, when they lost to Argentina for the first time on New Zealand soil. So it's a bit of a rough one, perhaps. Could be a bit split. And it's up by anyone. Did anyone back Geelong in the AFL? And also we have there, Connacht, says Johannes. And also Stormers are playing. Connacht, says Johnny. And are you going to watch the boxing tomorrow? More than likely, we will be skipping the boxing just because I will probably be asleep at the time that it's starting. I believe it's 6 a.m., isn't it? Oh, no, I'll actually be streaming at the time that it is starting. All right, we will go like this. That was the wrong button. I accidentally turned my camera off. And also, new set of combo again for the ABs. It'll be interesting. And also, we have got there Geelong 107 to the 33 of the Swans. That is quite one-sided. That's pretty much an absolute. I don't know what the best word is. An absolute shellacking. Is that the right word? And also, 10:30, the main card says Caleb Parkinson. So, yeah, I might be asleep by the time that is there. And tell me the Bay of Plenty won, says Mr. JJ. Although I do know that Wellington were playing Waikato. And for the Bunnings EBC to have a Ranfurly Shield Challenge next week, they did need Waikato to be able to beat Wellington. I don't believe they were able to get the job done. The last time I saw it, they were down by 14 points. And I believe that this one, just going to have a quick look to see whether or not they got over, but I don't believe they did, or else I think someone would have mentioned it. No, in the end, it was Wellington 34 to Waikato 6. And one field, two teams, keep it clean, boys, and refs. Says information outposts. And also we have got, I guess so, at least there's a reason to support them. Are you streaming the other NRL prelim? I am indeed. That is going to be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. And we might end up with a guest for that one. So if it is daylight savings, we've got our clocks forward at 2 a.m., which will now be 3 a.m. So at 2 a.m., it will technically be an hour after 2 a.m. until the Box and the Boomers game. I actually haven't scheduled my live stream yet, purely because of how confused I was about the time zones. I believe I'm going to be time traveling a little bit later on, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be doing the Stormers game, and at some stage throughout that match, we are going to jump back, or we're actually going to jump forward an hour. So I believe we're starting at 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time, which is actually going to be considered as 2:30 a.m. New Zealand time because of how the time zones are going to be working. It's kind of the worst night for them to have it with all of this midnight rugby going up. I think there will be 2 red cards in this game, and Wally 1 says Red 7 is Swain playing today. He is not, and he won't be for the next 6 weeks as he has been suspended. Well, that Sweet As has donated. He has said New Zealand 25, Australia 25. I got $50 on the TAB, $1,300 return. So hopefully it does end up paying off for you, mate. You're able to cash it in. But, I mean, there's that thing. It's that the thing that they were talking about before, how there's like a bonus bet thingy going on. That was really well described, wasn't it? And also we have got there, good luck, Sweet As. And also we have got there, Hamish makes a rubbish Marty McFly. I mean, I'm going to time travel with a few other people, though. I'm not going to be selfish with it. You know, I opened a bottle of whiskey, so I'm going to time traveling very shortly, says David the Modern Wellington. Oh, Wallabies win and win the championship, says Laufili. So you are backing a Wallabies bonus point win as well as a South Africa loss by more than 7, Laufili. It's one of those ones. It's not the most common prediction we've heard, but it is a possibility. And why do you wear a tie? Says Running Stories. Pretty much the gist of it is I decided to wear a tie for one final about a year ago. Then as soon as I stopped wearing ties for big matches, everyone complained. So now the tie and the suit stick with me every big match of the competition that we do end up having. For the Rugby Championship, a few of the other ones as well, we do end up wearing the suit and tie. And just, yeah, it seems to be a bit of a trend that we have set. Lucky I've had to get it off the Spirits. And who's the ref tonight? It is going to be the Irishman, Andrew Brace. I have been told from a little bit earlier on. And I'll say, yeah, pay up, Damien. I don't know. I don't know you, but pay up, says David the Mod there as well. Okay, John Kerwin looks like he was fired up on the breakdown a little bit earlier on. He wants to show what the All Blacks can do out there on the field. And also Andrew Brace, Mr. JJ, says, Robert, we are actually only 10 minutes away, and your referee will be the man of the match, says YouTube user. The thing is, the referees have been more prominent throughout this Rugby Championship than I think ever before. And before this Rugby Championship, there's already been a lot of calls that people have felt have been wrong from the referees in the past. So for me, I just hope they get it right, because or else then there will be a lot more people who are not very happy with the refereeing. Go the All Blacks, says Creeper Reigns, and this comp is tight. Everyone has a chance of winning it. But the ABs is the most likely winner, though, says Red 7. And also, well, stories or Running Stones, a tie usually goes with a suit, mate, says David Mott. That is a very good point. Normally, the suit and tie, just like Justin Timberlake said, do they have rainbow lights on the roof of Eden Park? I have never noticed that. up until this point, but now I regret the fact that I have never noticed it because they are quite nice likes. Aussie come back by 10 points, says Newbank. The thing is, at the moment, I wouldn't say it's completely out of the question. And Aussie Andrew Brace refs a bit like Luke Pearce, and Luke Pearce is kind of scary, says Scrum last year. It's going to be a strict game, I would think, from the referees. They're going to have to make sure that they are very well disciplined, both of these sides in the breakdown. If they get it wrong, they will certainly be penalised for it. And this exciting contest, Justin Marshall, he's excited for this game. Currently very close on the table. New Zealand sitting on 14 points. South Africa also sitting on the 14. Every extra point that New Zealand get in this game above of Australia, if they win, that's not a given yet. But if New Zealand win, every extra point puts them a little bit higher up above the South Africans. But they're going to have to work extremely hard to make sure they win this game, not just by a little bit, but by quite a lot as well. Looking through at the starting lineups, first of all, we will look through at the home side, New Zealand. In the front row, Ethan de Groot, Cody Taylor, and Tyrell Lomax. Then Brady Retallick will be slotting in at number 4, with number 5 being the very experienced veteran and Sam Whitelock, who is actually captain for this match, I should mention, with the fact that Sam Cane is missing a Kiriwani at number 6 rather than Scott Barrett from last week. Dalton Papali'i replacing Cane in the open side flanker jersey, and then Hardy Savia returning to the side after the birth of his child. He is there at number 8. Looking through at the back line, Aaron Smith and Richie Mo'unga will be the inside backs. Geordie Barrett moves to 12 after the injuries last week of David Havili and also of Quinn Tupaia. Rico Ioane on his outside. Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, and Bowden Barrett does slot in as the number 15, a player who we haven't seen in a fullback jersey for quite some time at international level. Not in the starting lineup anyway. He has transitioned a little bit throughout a few of the other weeks. Looking through at the Australian starting lineup, it will be James Slipper, Dave Parecki, and Alan Alaalatoa. Then Jed Holloway and Cadron Neville will be the locks. Rob Bellatini, Pete Samu, and Harry Wilson. That loose forward trio is full of strength, full of speed, and they love running down the wing. Even though they're supposed to be considered as those big men in the loose forwards, they can make those meters pretty quick. I was going to say something else in the gap there, but pretty bloody quick, I guess I could say. Jake Gordon at number 9, Bernard Foley at 10, getting to start as the fly half. Lalakai Faketi and Len Ikatel will be the midfield combo, a very strong one for the Wallabies throughout the Rugby Championship. Marika Korombedi out on the left wing, will be Tom Wright out on the right. Nice little pun there. And Andrew Callaway slotting in at number 15. It is overcast, 14 degrees and 17 kilometres of wind with a bit of a southwesterly breeze for these two sides. Looking through at the benches, then we will be reading some of the chat before the two sides make their way out onto the park. It will be Samasoni Takiaho at number 16. A lot of people felt he should have been in the starting lineup after the form that he has been able to find throughout this Rugby Championship. His lineouts have come a long way. His running game is strong, and he's certainly going to be an impact player for the ABs in this contest. Ofa Tuangafasi and Nipololala both returning to their home ground of Eden Park, getting ready to go for another opportunity. I'm interested to know how Ofa Tuangafasi goes at loose head prop, seeing as they have picked the two tight heads for this contest. Tupavai at number 19. Hoskins the Tutu got the start last week at 8. Instead, will be coming off the bench here. Finley Christie, Roger Tuavasa-Shet called back into the side due to all the inside centre injuries, and then Sevu Reece can cover wings and also possibly fullback, worst comes to worst, as he has been playing it throughout the Bunnings NBC. Then for Australia, Falafai Nga'u, Angus Bell, and Pona Fa'amasili will be the front row. Nick Frost at 19, Fraser McRide at number 20, and then the back replacements, it will be Nick White, Reece Hodge, and Jordan Pataya. But those are the starting lineups and reserves for both of these sides. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got hi from Chad. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Roger Tuavasa-Shet playing this game says red he is. Coming off the bench. Happy Heritage Day / Bride Day to all South Africans, says CP. And at 7 p.m. here in Fiji. Do you guys also have the daylight saving YouTube user? Because I know that at 2 a.m. this morning or next morning, we are actually going to be switching our clocks an hour for good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you all are. Says cited, and also we have got there in the chat morning from Carl. Hope you are doing well. Good morning from Germany. The AB's going to run riot. And also we have got there in the chat, hey bro, from Sydney, says Dean, and South Africa fan here. All Blacks going to win, says reality always wins. And my folks are busy brying. Oh, that word. I'm always terrible at borrowers rolls for breakfast. There you go. Decent way to start the day. Now, two sides are making their way out onto Eden Park. Will be Sam Whitelock at the front of the All Blacks side. The reason he is there is due to Sam Cane's injury. It was going to be questioned. Was it going to be Sam Whitelock or was it going to be Ardie Savia as the captain? They've gone with a little bit more experience. In fact, about how many 80 caps more experience for Sam Whitelock there. I hope everyone is having a great long weekend in New Zealand. Says Red 7 of the big stations should hire you, says a running stories. And I'm in Fiji, says Chad. And with New Zealand, good luck, boys, says Sandeli and the chat as well. And I should mention we have got a URC game, the Stormers versus Connacht, a bit later on. Also following that, we will be doing South Africa versus Argentina, which is certainly going to be an entertaining game. And depending on what the result is in this contest, we may see either South Africa crowned as Rugby Championship winners, Australia crowned, or New Zealand. Currently, the Pumas, just a little bit too late for them. Unless they beat South Africa by about... They would have to beat South Africa by around about 100 points to be able to win the Rugby Championship. That is going to be very tough to do, I would think. Good morning from Cape Town. All Blacks are back. Great game, says Ruth. And also All Blacks are going to be fire and attacking quick, says Styles Lee. And maybe with that little bit of rain, I feel that will slightly benefit the All Blacks. The last time that they did end up playing in the rain, they were able to get themselves the 50-point victory up against Argentina. Although I should also mention there's an interesting trend for both of these sides. The All Blacks, they normally go worse in their first game. They play better in their second. The Wallabies, they normally, on the recent games anyway, they have kind of got a little bit of a similar pattern. They end up going better in their first game and then the second. But the first time up against Argentina, it was the first game they played better. Did I just confuse everyone? I hope so, because I confused myself with that statement. Pretty much they are up and down like a roller coaster, but could this be the game that they hone it in? They do it beautifully, and maybe they do draw the Bledisloe Cup series. We have got Michael back. New Zealand will not back down psychologically till they beat Ireland, or will not be back, sorry, till they beat Ireland, says Michael. And also math, says scrum less than 100 points. You mean there's a chance, says Red 7. And there I like Fiji, says Jab, but now the Australian national anthem is being sung. New Zealand, they want to start this game quick like they did in their last match up against the Aussies. Australia, though, if they get it right early on, I mentioned it, I think Marika Korombedi is the first try scorer of this contest. He's a beast out on the wing. He always puts in some massive hits. And the thing is, if it goes wrong for the All Blacks early, that's the kind of momentum the Wallabies need to try and find. Will this be a live broadcast? Sadly, we are unable to show any match footage or audio due to licensing. If we did show anything, they would take us straight down off YouTube. But we have the scoreboard, we have the try scorers, and everything along those lines as well. The Australian national anthem being sung. We will have the haka. I wonder whether or not it is going to be Kamate or maybe Kapaopanga might be just around the corner. I'm going to have some hydration because if I don't, my voice will be disappearing before the end of the night. And also 3-time world champions, All Blacks, and South Africa are going to win. Says reality always wins there. There we go. The All Blacks 55-6 to Australia, says Chad. So saying a trialist Australian side. For this one, it's going to be Kamati. Says Red 7 in New Zealand tackling themselves down last week, hopefully better this week. And the big thing was there was that little patch in the middle where Australia took all the momentum. New Zealand were up 31 points to 13, something along those lines. It should have been straightforward from there, but then they took their foot off the gas. They allowed them to be able to really get back into the game, the Aussies. They can't do that this week, or else it could get themselves in a bit of trouble. And also the ref is from the Ireland Rugby Football Union. And there, as I says, Kevin Lalo, and also we have got the Go the All Blacks, says it was a running stories in game time, says Golden Guest. It's going to be an epic one, that is for sure. Rieko Ioane and Akira Ioane standing side by side for this New Zealand national anthem. But the anthem is now finished. Drink water, commentator. We need your voice tonight, says YouTube views. And Jasmine, no. And there, and draw, says Johannes. And it will take a TMO to win this game for Australia, says Jan there. Or it might be Jan. I do have quite a few South African subscribers. So if you are South African, I assume it is Jan, sorry. Hamish, I accidentally timed out Novmum. That's not good. Who were you trying to get, David? You did end up accidentally getting Novmum with the timeout. And also, that's all good. We good, fam, says scrumless. And also we have got there, Jasmine No says scrumless. And then, sorry, Nov Mum says David the Mod in there as well, but the haka about to take place. And also Nov Mum's going to be pissed, says Obi. Aaron Smith leading the haka for the Abies. And also you did, says Nov Mum's still here. So how'd that work? Maybe you somehow were able to undo it, David, before she had the 5 minutes. Maybe something like that. But Caleb Clark is looking fired up. He had the most running meters out of any player in last week's one. And the Wallabies once again marching up to the halfway in an arrow formation, showing that they aren't afraid to face this challenge of the All Blacks. It's going to be an epic contest at Eden Park, that is for sure. And we are only moments away from it getting underway for this matchup. That is going to be the end of the haka. Watching from I always mess up this, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. I think I've said it very wrong, haven't I? And also Straz said, thanks, man. And then who do you think, or who would you think is going to win? I think the All Blacks at Eden Park have certainly got a decent chance here, but Australia are not going to back down from the challenge, which is exactly what I want to see. They've walked up to halfway and they look like they're ready for a fight at Eden Park. Hopefully there's no actual fights though, because if there's any actual fights, someone's probably going to be going to the bin. We want to avoid all sorts of injuries for this one. Razzle-sazzle time, says Vieto Smith. But now Rieko Ioane once again having a bit of a smile at the Australians. He wasn't willing to turn his back first. It's kind of like when you're in the assembly at primary school and everyone's got to clap last. You know, you're doing the clap with everyone and then it stops and then you just hear a random, and then from the other side of the room, and then the teachers just get annoyed, don't they? And who agrees that the ABs, that the Aussies are disrespecting, who agrees with the ABs that the Aussies are disrespecting the haka, says Thomas Luke. I wouldn't say it's disrespectful. I think it's just saying we are willing to meet you head on for this. You're allowed to do your haka. We're allowed to react how we think we should, and we want to show that we're not afraid to back down. We're not just going to stand here and watch you do your war dance. We're going to come straight at you, and we're going to see whether or not we can take your heads off in this contest. But now Bowden Barrett at number 15 excited for this game. We are ready to go. All the respect to the haka, even as an Aussie says, staying there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The game is underway. Bledisloe Cup match 2 and the final of the Rugby Championship for both of these sides. It will be Australia who do kick this one off right to left at Eden Park, and it's certainly filled up now, packed in like sardines. Geordie Barrett does beautifully in the take of the ball, although Australia almost able to get the counter ruck with Andrew Callaway leading the charge. And also we have got there, you're doing great with the pronunciation. And there says Dark Scar Flame. And it's not a war dance, it's a challenge. Says Obi there. And also they didn't disrespect the haka, they took on the challenge. Says David the Mod. Now nice work from Bernard Foley. Korombetti sitting 40 meters out from the line. They want to call it as a maul. I believe they do have to release them. They do just that. Rieko Ioane and Savi, and now Alan Alaratawa fires it across. Does try and take on Cody Taylor, who's back in the starting lineup now. Goes through the gap there. Jed Holloway. Bit of speed shown by the big lock up to the 22 meters out. Caleb Clark's hands, I believe, were on the ground, so he won't be able to contest for that one. Jake Gordon goes across to Foley. Alan Alaratoa only sitting 20 meters out from the line now. It seems like Australia have certainly come to play and they want to start this game quick and precise. 1 minute in currently. Now looking off to the right-hand side, it's going to be a penalty to the All Blacks. Oh, they say it's not going to be good. Oh, no, as he dropped Dalton Papali'i on his head, this might be trouble here. And happy birthday for tomorrow, says Anthony. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I hope you do have a very good birthday, mate. Nathan has said show the game. Unfortunately, due to licensing, any match footage or audio gets us taken straight off YouTube. Right. It's a lifting clear out. They are going to be checking this one with the TMO, I believe. Lifting clear out and a neck roll, but it's just a penalty. So they haven't looked at that one again. They do feel it is just a penalty for that one. So it was Jed Holloway. Oh, tell you what, he's pretty lucky to avoid anything more serious there, Jed Holloway, because he has picked him up. Dalton Papali'i dropped, luckily lands on his side. Okay, the referee is now saying my initial view, I was on penalty, and now he's thinking about having another look at this one for the TMO. Right, I think they're going to go upstairs and have a look at this one because it did look it was a big clear lift. I believe Harry Wilson actually involved in that one as well. He let go, though, and left Jed Holloway to put him down. So he kind of set up his teammate for that one. But Dalton Papali'i landed down on kind of that side and shoulder region, but careless it was earlier on. And also, where's the pictures? Unfortunately, it is on Sky or Stan Sport. We are unable to show match footage in this one. So Dalton Papali'i, his head lands on Pete Samu, head on head. I think it's just going to be a yellow here for Jed Holloway, and that is not the start to the match Australia would have been after. And when Springboks walk up to the haka, it was a big story. We was not allowed to do it anymore, says Johannes. Okay. So he's saying, the referee that is, that Jed Holloway initially wasn't the man who took him above the horizontal. Instead, it was possibly actually Harry Wilson who started the lifting. Yeah, it was. And then Jed Holloway got the other leg, and he had to put him down. He kind of got set up by Harry Wilson for that one. I think it is going to be a yellow card, though. It's a yellow card. They have said. The question is it going to be for Jed or is it going to be for Harry? I think it's for Jed Holloway, though, who is going to be receiving the yellow card. We'll bring out, I got these initially. Oh, it's a yellow, and it's kind of close to the green. There we go, my yellow card. It's for Jed Holloway. He will be going to the bin for the next 10 minutes. And also, why can't he show match footage? Is he not got a streaming account, says Trap. So pretty much this is our, I guess, the main channel that we use for our rugby, and any match footage or audio, Sanzar take you straight down. Even in the past, we've been taken down by Sanzar for not showing match footage as they felt that we were going to. So it's one of those ones you certainly cannot risk it unless you want banned for 3 months. And in that case, I would have to find myself probably another full-time job. So it's pretty much getting fired for 3 months to show 5 seconds of footage. Not quite worth it, if you ask me. But Akira Ioane, 45 metres out from the line for the All Blacks, already the yellow card. Now, Will Jordan tries to find the pass, doesn't quite link up, and Dave Parecki toes it forward, moving back to the 22. Geordie Barrett was inside of his own 22 area, decides to run it out instead, and Harry Wilson has been able to take it down. And also we have got there, not a good start for the Wallabies, certainly not. Do you have a red card as well, says Garrick? You will have to find out if we do see another red, but yeah, they probably will. Just ignore them, bro. They won't do anything. Trust me, says Trap Me Mafia. The problem is, I do not trust you at all because I have seen multiple of other YouTube streamers getting taken down. I have been taken down before for having Super Rugby in my title. So to say that they won't do anything is pretty naive because literally we show 1 second, we're gone. And they don't care. They'll take us down for 3 months and we're going to be absolutely devastated. We won't be able to do any streaming. Be a bit of a shame. My voice would get a bit of a spell though. Maybe I should. No, I am joking. I'm not going to be doing it. And trust me, bro, says Scrum Lesson. Yes, they will, says Mr. Toad. And there as well. But currently 40 metres out from the line. The All Blacks are going to have the scrum feed. And also we have got their red card. And there says the strange tutor. So it was only the yellow for... I hate how yellow, the green screen doesn't quite work out, does it? And now, yeah, no red cards as of yet in this one. A nice commentary, keep it up. And also the yellow card was 8th in the Rugby Championship. Yeah, Australia have had a lot of cards throughout this competition, that is for sure. Definitely because this is only their 6th game. And also, don't do it, says Mr. Toad. And also, they will take you down, not worth it, says Garrick, exactly right. And also, we have got there, Hamish sounds a little gun-shy, says Stephen Bissett. To show the footage, definitely. And commentary is fine, given the rules, says YouTube user. And where is this being played? It is at Eden Park. Do you think Roger Tuivasa-Sheet will get a decent amount of time today? I hope they end up giving him at least 20 minutes at the end of the contest, just to give him enough time to really find his feet. Because like 7 minutes at the end of the game, I don't think is enough. Big push from the All Blacks. Now it's scrum time. That scrum took quite a bit of time for it to go down and be reset. But now it's going to be Ardie Savia break to the line his first time back since having another child. He didn't actually pop it out. It was his wife who did give birth. But he was there, which is why he missed the first test. Now Bowden Barrett has got this ball on the outside. Does consider going to Caleb Clark. Bowden Barrett breaks the line. The chip and chase has been taken out, but the ball might just stay in the field of play. Oh, Corin Betty may have accidentally run that one dead, and that's going to be now a 5-metre scrum or a 5-metre line out for the All Blacks, depending on what they decide. And Tom Mann, great commentating, says Mackie there. Yeah, it's all fun. What do you guys do best, All Blacks? And nice haka, baby. Let's play its game. And let's hope it's played in good spirits. And that one, it was a nice little chip over the top there And Marika Konabedi had no choice but to just run that one into touch. I believe it was taken back into, it's pretty much a half and half. It's going to be a 5-meter scrum here. And this will be a try, says Trap in there as well. But currently 5 minutes through this contest, Eden Park has been rocking for the first 5 as there has been plenty of action. We've already seen a yellow card to Jed Holloway. We've also seen a couple line breaks from Artie Savia and Bowden Barrett. Okay, you need to stay left of the mark. Cody Taylor may have just been getting a little bit further forward than he was supposed to, but the feeds won/loss. They got 85% of their scrums won throughout the competition. They have given away 4 penalties, though. And also, I hope the All Blacks beat the Aussies, says Pieto Smith, and go the block earlier on. So I assume you want the All Blacks to win, but not by a bonus point. So it opens up the door for the Springboks to be able to get themselves the Rugby Championship 2022. 6 minutes into the contest, still another 6 minutes left of the yellow card of Jed Holloway. And now 5 meters out, right on the left-hand touch. There's going to be an advantage for the All Blacks for it going down. Artie Savia has been mounted by Jake Gordon, so he won't be able to get that ball out. Aaron Smith crawls forward 3 minutes out from the line. Savia drops his head, accelerates. I believe he's just going to be short of the line by half a meter or so. The ball's popped out the back. It's going to be going back for the initial penalty to the ABs 5 meters out. Now, last week, they decided to kick for touch early on in a contest. I wouldn't be surprised if they consider another scrum here, try and keep that pressure on the Wallabies. A try for the ABs coming up, says YouTube user. And also, if the ABs don't win, hope South Africa does. And yes, South Africa, says Garrick. And there as well. Right, back row, you're not balanced, was the comment from the referee. And well, some nasty knocks already. Aussies, watch yourself. See, there's a roof there. Yeah, the discipline is going to be so important for both of these sides. The Wallabies, they are only 5 meters out from their line. Anytime the All Blacks got to this point in the last game, they got over the line a majority of the time. Can the Wallabies change that in just 1 week of preparation for the ABs? They have been playing a little bit of up and down rugby, both of these sides, in fact. And Barrett on the angle, says Octodad there, good defence. Says a Mr. Toad there as well. But penalties conceded so far, we have seen 2 from Australia. In fact, the first penalty of the game was that yellow card of Jed Holloway. Ball about to go in from Aaron Smith, 5 meters out from the line. Once again, in that same spot that they just were. It's a big push. It's a huge shove from the ABs. There's no advantage for it. Now Caleb Clark positions directly behind the scrum. The ball has gone loose, and it's going to be a knock-on now against Australia. It's actually pretty well done with the defensive side of things. They were able to shut down Clark extremely quickly. That was actually Jake Gordon who was able to do so. And also, who's the most aggressive side so far? Or it depends on what you consider aggressive. I'd say Australia, tackling-wise and breakdown-wise, are more aggressive because they've had that yellow card. But the All Blacks on attack seem like they have been looking to just really break through that Australian defence, whereas we haven't really seen too much of the Australian attack as of yet. So I'd say Australia by a little bit of a margin. Are you listening to Radio 1? I am watching on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand. And every time when the Wallabies is down Eden Park, I always wish to witness history, says Stang there. And also, who was the yellow card for? It was for the Australian number 4, Jed Holloway. So he ended up going to the bin for the 10 minutes, and he is still off the field for another 3 now. Currently 9 minutes into this contest. Go ABs. Let's make it 2 from 2. Now them at home tonight, says Andy Watson. New Zealand has an appetite for a try, says YouTube user, and it does seem like they are right on the verge of possibly being able to do so. Another big push. Oh, Cody Taylor pops up. Is that not a penalty to Australia? Now it's going to be another advantage. It's going to become a penalty in favour of the All Blacks. But yeah, Cody Taylor popped up a lot earlier than anyone else in that scrum front row. But it is now, hang on, double blow of the whistle. It's already the last warning for them, 5 metres out from their line. If New Zealand lost, it'll be history. And where is the ref from? He is Irish for this one. And where are they? Says DJ, currently 5 metres out from the line. Once again, Richie Mo'unga will be looking this time to kick it for touch rather than the scrum. I thought you were an Aussie. No, I'm from New Zealand. I might, sometimes when I talk really fast, I have been told I've got a slight Aussie twang that does come through a little bit. And Ron Call Ref says, Mr. Toad, and run the mall, man. Don't worry, Kiwis, you're doing just fine there. I think your commentary is super. Thank you very much, Ruth. Nicely taken off the back. Myra Retallick gives it off to Savia. 5 metres now from the All Blacks. Oh, and it's a penalty to Australia. They've done well. Straight in, off the feet. It looks like Geordie Barrett wanted to start a fight with Rob Valentini for half a second. De Groot and Jake Gordon having a bit of a stare down there. Not too happy with that penalty. Another yellow coming, says Dale Jones. And also, the Wallabies seem to have contained AB's attack so far. And yeah, other than those couple line breaks, the thing that the Wallabies have done well is when they've been 5 metres out from the line, yes, they've given away the penalties, but they haven't allowed the All Blacks to get over the try line. Too many penalties already, says Obi. And how did Holloway, or what did Holloway do for a yellow? So it was, in the end, Harry Wilson picked up one leg of Papali'i, and Jed Holloway picked up the other, and then they dropped him kind of on his arm / kind of shoulder region. So it was just a yellow for him, as there wasn't really anywhere for Jed Holloway to put him down after Harry Wilson had also lifted and thought the ref's other was broken. Says Mr. Toad, and the best Irish ref in the world, says Connor. There you go. That's a bold statement, but hopefully does do very well throughout this contest. The rolling ball for Australia, sitting 35 metres out from their own line with Parecki at the back. Looks like Gordon will be putting up the box kick now, 11 minutes into this contest. The All Blacks yet to get themselves on the board. Same can be said about Australia. Great take from Caleb Clark, but a nice tackle made on him by Tom Wright, just inside of their own half. Mo'unga goes across to Bowden Barrett. Now Will Jordan, he's got the man on his outside. He steps though. Len Akatau gets him down 45 out from the Aussie line now. Brodie Retallick hits a hard at the line. It was a great tackle by Parecki to be able to stop the momentum of big Brodie Retallick. Mo'unga looks for the offload. It's hit Papali'i's hand, and because of it, Australia have been able to get this ball back, but straight on the ball, Papali'i gives away the penalty. That is for, I believe, was it not rolling away against Aaron Smith, or was it for coming in through the side for Dalton Papali'i? Not rolling away against Aaron Smith as the call. And also any future rugby fixtures in a few months. I know Samoa are going to play Italy. So there are actually quite a few games taking place in November. Each side at international level, in the top about 15 sides are going to be playing at least 3 fixtures. That's going to be pretty awesome. New Zealand, they have got Italy as one of their fixtures, I believe. Also England will be another. That ball's kicked into touch. Very nicely done by Australia. Now about 15 metres out from the All Blacks line. They will have the line out throw. And any links to the full game, if you are in Australia, you can sign up for a Stansport free trial. If you do need to set yourself to Australia, I do recommend that pinned comment. It is a VPN that will help you get there. And hello, Hamish. Says John, hope you are doing very well, I should say. You're doing the Munster match tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It does actually overlap with the game between the Harlequins and Exeter Chiefs. So I believe we will be doing the Harlequins game, but then also keeping you updated on what happens for Munster. Now 15 metres out from the line, trying to get the rolling ball going. It has gone down. Papali'i tries to keep it in there. Doesn't work out for him, but he makes the tackle now on Parecki, who went round the side. The pick and go from Big Pete Samu, the most running metres out of any forward in last week's contest for Bledisloe Cup. First test, Alan Alarata around the side, tackled by Retallick. Nice face play here from Australia in their first real attack of this contest. Sam Whitelock tried to get him for the turnover, wasn't able to do so. Gordon now goes off to Lalakai Feketi, tackled by Barrett, his opposite number for this match, as Barrett has turned back to inside centre, just like he was throughout the Hurricane season. They looked like it was going to be Sam Whitelock over the ball. It was, and he wins the penalty. Cody Taylor, he takes the quick tap. The All Blacks have seen an opportunity here. Rieko Ioane breaks through one tackle. Maybe could have passed the ball on the outside. Would have been a good option. Now Aaron Smith kicks it in behind, looking for some extra territory, looking possibly for that 50-22. The chase from Barrett, running after. Tom Wright now gives it off to Marika Korombeti. How's his right boot? He's going to try the chip and chase instead. It's going to sit up for Marika Korombeti. He tries another grubber, but he has been taken down. Now Will Jordan has to clean it up. Accelerates round one man. Pressure put on by Marika. Now good tackle by Lalakai Feketi, and the All Blacks, they have a counter ruck against them. Aussie trying to get right in there and just able to hang on to the ball. This game's going to make me lose my breath and pass out. It's kicked into touch by Bowden Barrett. To Cody Taylor. It was a decent plan to go quickly. It just wasn't executed in the best way possible. The Australians, they got the counter-attack going. They made a whole heap of meters in the process. And Marika is a machine, and Rika can't pass. Says Gareth there. Big love, says Sebastian. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. And hope you are excited for all of the rugby and rugby league that we have got coming up in the future. Also, a little bit earlier on, Darren said, are there many people watching in the stadium? I believe it is a sellout in front of, I want to say it's, how many can Eden Park hold? 63,000? Oh, Geordie Barrett, he's got a bit of blood coming out of his head. That was actually from the head clash he sustained with Marika Korombeti. Korombeti was completely fine, though, from it. He was still running forward. Now, Jake Gordon on the 22 for the Wallabies gives it off to Valentini. Savia trying to stop him. Those two just have pistons for legs that just keep on driving. Alanalatoa straightens. Good tackle made by the Ioanes. Both of them, Akira And Rico there getting involved. Callaway, quick hands to Marika Korombedi. Almost dropped the ball, but has managed to just hang on to it. 10 metres out now. Gordon, back to Valentini, being busy. Playing blindside for this fixture. Jed Holloway, back now to what will be Len Akitau. Nice short ball, Harry Wilson. He's knocked that ball on. Almost run it over for the try. Would have been Lalakai Faketi, but they will go back for the initial advantage in favour of the All Blacks. Under 55, says King Puppy there. And too excited for this result, says Rooster. And then also he's going to be Rugby. Nevertheless, he's going to be Rugby Itch's man of the match. And forward, says Pieto Smith. So yeah, just dropping that ball. Harry Wilson not quite getting that one right. Look for the offload. That is something that he's extremely dangerous throughout the regular season for. Just not quite able to get it. Are you doing the Connacht match today? I am hoping to do Connacht versus the Stormers. And then straight after that, we're going to be jumping into the second match of the Rugby Championship for today. That will be the match between the Springboks and the Pumas. So anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. We've got plenty more of the URC and international rugby coming up in the near future. And Ireland Rugby are getting better at professional rugby, says Patrick. They've come a long way in the last little while, and I think they're now really starting to find the squad that they feel has got the potential of being able to go far in the next Rugby World Cup. Currently positioned just a little bit in favour of the Australians, 71% of territory for the Australians in this game as well. 10 metres out from the line, Aaron Smith goes back across to Geordie Barrett, tries the torpedo kick, and it's a beautiful sparring one, but it's not going to be one that Marika Korombedi has to try and stop. And Parker's fighting too. Amish says, he is indeed at about 10:30 a.m. New Zealand time, I believe that is. And also ready to fight, ready to bleed, says Scrumless. And I mean, Geordie Barrett, he's already bleeding at this stage. And great commentating, says Kayla. And not liking 50-50 calls, go straight to New Zealand, says a Rooster there. And just show the game, please. Unfortunately, due to licensing, any match footage or audio gets us taken straight down. So we would get to show the footage for 3 seconds, and then we wouldn't be able to do any commentary for 3 months, unfortunately, which would be quite a long time. Definitely when we have been doing about 5 to 10 each weekend. And great to see the Japanese ladies playing today, says Mr. Toad. Yeah, playing at Eden Park just a little bit prior to this match getting underway up against the Black Ferns. And All Blacks won't want to go down tonight either, says Linus Tube. Very true. They need a bonus point just to really feel safe up against the Box, because Argentina are one of those sides. They can either have a very close game, like we saw in their first match up against the All Blacks, or they can get taken well and truly, I guess, all around the park and not have a great run. Squid has said show 2 seconds. Well, if I show 2 seconds, if it doesn't get taken down, you see, that's where the problem starts. And I think people don't really consider that. They go, 2 seconds work, show 5 seconds. 5 seconds work, you won't do 10, and then you get struck anyway. And then once again, we have no job for 3 months. So unless you're willing to pay 3 months of wages for a full-time employment, I recommend finding a way of watching the game that isn't on YouTube. But now, Len Akitau running forward 42 metres out from the Aussie line. Jake Gordon, in fact, out from the Kiwi line. Harry Wilson now running straight into a grouping of Dalton Papali and Akira Ioane. And that also, we've got their big fight tonight, says Lana. It certainly will be. Now, Bernard Foley kicks it in behind. It's gone into touch. Just going for a little bit of the territory game, and you should get a professional job as a commentator, says Tommy Ragnar. And also, are you confident All Blacks can beat the Wallabies, or it will be a tough match? It is going to be a tough match. It's definitely going to be one that could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if it was split by less than the 7 points in this game. And also, is it on TV? It is on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand, Stan Sport in Australia. Also, I believe it's on Flow Sports anywhere else in the world, DSTV, Sky Sport UK, and a few other websites also have it. And there is and also Frozen says relaxing Kiwi, and also Rico, exactly where's your best centre, says Sweet As. Now Aaron Smith takes it nicely, 22 metres out from the AB's line. Very good commentary, Amish, keep it up, says a YouTube user. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. Now Aaron Smith goes back to Akira Ioane. Aaron Smith, he had to fight for that ball for half a second. He thought that it was becoming a bit loose. Jake Gordon looked like he wasn't looking too flash. Aaron Smith gets Brody Retallick's boot off his forehead and does help him up. And also, game on, brothers. And yeah, it should be close. And All Blacks need to start attacking, go offensive, says Pieto Smith. Because when they've had the attacking plays, it seems to be the line breaks that have been more effective for the AB. So if they can get it right and really get that back line going at a frantic pace, that is what they certainly need to be able to break down this Australian defence. Because Australia, when you give them time to be structured, they're pretty handy. And also we have got there, you should Photoshop an airplane skywriting, no game footage in your green screen pick. That would be quite awesome. I don't know how to do that, but I will look into it and see how to get it to do it, because I think that would be quite cool. I made our power in South Africa off for 3 hours. Thanks for the commentary, says Werner. And we are actually going to be covering the Stormers game a little bit later on up against Connacht. So I do recommend tuning in for that one, as well as the Pumas versus South Africa. It's become a bit scrappy. Bounces back for Tyrell Lomax after a 50-50 with Bernard Foley. Now Aaron Smith back to Brodie Retallick. They're only sitting 20 metres out from the line now for the All Blacks, looking to the short side. Beauden Barrett went for the grubber. That was not the option. And Tom Wright has almost got that ball. Luckily, it stays on the side of the All Blacks for Beauden Barrett's sake there. That kick was certainly not on. Now back across. It's going to be Lomax. Another big carry. Andrew Kellaway falling over hard after trying to stop the Man Mountain. It's going to be another penalty advantage for the All Blacks. This one is definitely in a kickable 3 position if they want it. Double blow of the whistle. Oh, hang on. Time is off. Right, they've already had one of their last warnings, maybe. I'm talking URC Zebre playing some good rugby, says Gareth. Yeah, they've been looking pretty sharp at the moment, Zebre. I know it's a tricky law, but he can't dive on it until it's actually cleared by a metre at the back. What's the actual time? Says DJ, so it is 20 minutes through the game. Sorry, the scoreboard has been a bit slow for that one. Right. Referee clear as day has said any more of that and someone's going to the bin. And it's those games with the strong defence and this game seems slow, says No Mum. I think it's just because both sides have been extremely equally matched throughout the last little while. But yeah, Zebre getting 37 points up against the Sharks. Quite a high-scoring fixture, I should say. And then Leinster beating Benetton 42 points to 10. Doesn't make sense after Benetton got themselves a good win last week. And also cool, says Captain. And there as well. But it looks like the All Blacks, they may just accept the 3 points here. And also, where are they on the field? So Richie Mo'unga from 15 metres out will be able to line up this kick and try and get the 3 points on the board. In Eden Park, they've actually got a KFC stand there. I don't think it's selling actual KFC, but it is a nice balcony position to have watching it. And 3-0 odds to Mo'unga getting this. I'd say Richie Mo'unga, he's had 97 points in 10 Bledisloe Cup appearances. He's also been kicking at a very high rate this year. So I'm going to say about a 98% chance that this goes over. Didn't expect to see so many Barretts in the backs, says Sebastian. And yeah, I think it's because he did lose Scott in the fullback, and without too many Barretts, Ian Foster would be sad. So he needed a few more slotting in there. Oh, Jordan Petaia slotting on at number 23. Mo'unga has got that kick over, and now the score is going to be 3-0 in favour of the All Blacks. There's Tucker Waititi, isn't it? And the Sands didn't look interested at all. He was just on his phone. Didn't really care about the penalty. Well, I wonder, does anyone in New Zealand actually watch URC? I do. I don't know about many other people, though. And Sharks a bit rusty. Gave them time. Etzebeth must play a game for the Sharks. Can't wait, says Pieto. I think I'm allergic to the idea of Etzebeth running straight at a player in the URC. He might knock him down real bad. So Fekete was the man taken off for Jordan Petaia. I believe that is for an HIA. Nicely taken by Geordie Barrett. Sitting 22 metres out from the line. Counter ruck. Pete Samu. Oh, they've said. What have they said? You can't dive straight off your feet. He's still off his feet. Okay. So Andrew Bracer said you're not allowed to dive over the front of the breakdown, get the ball. As long as you're on your feet, though, you are actually able to do so. So penalties conceded in this Rugby Championship competition. Australia leading the bunch with 77. South Africa, the least penalised team, sitting on 54. 3 points coming up, says YouTube user. The game, it seems tactical. It'll go all to 80 minutes with an average score, says Marley. Yeah, both sides know that one little mistake could be the difference between a win and a loss here at Eden Park. Aaron Smith, flat ball to Richie Mo'unga, finds the offload to Geordie Barrett. Now Will Jordan receives it 40 metres out from the line. Petaia already having to make the tackle since making his way out onto the park for Lalakai Fekete. 40 out from the line, straight out in front as well. Richie Mo'unga now goes to Beauden Barrett. Rieko Ioane on the outside. Has he got it? No, he hasn't got it offload, although his hands were well and truly secured, I believe that time by Andrew Kellaway. Now Tyrell Lomax hits it hard at the line, 22 metres out. Aaron Smith, one more to Richie Mo'unga. Now Dalton Papali'i, his first opportunity at number 7 to start this year, I believe almost. or for the Rugby Championship anyway. Now Will Jordan going to be back in the pace. He's got plenty of it, Will Jordan, and he's going to score the try. That man makes it look so easy. If I tried to run that quick, I'd blow both my hamstrings, probably be on the shelf for 6 months. He's just made it that the All Blacks have got the first try of Bledisloe Cup match 2. And also we have got there da-dum, says Pieto Smith. And also we have got there which team has had the more possession. And also we have got their 65% possession to the ABs. And the try. But Will Jordan once again just goes straight through. His pace is electric. And it just seems to be, if he runs a line that has a man on his outside, you just don't know what you can do to try and stop it. Jordan Patai, he tried his best, but Will Jordan does manage to score the try, and that was in the 23rd minute, or the 22nd minute, in fact, of this matchup. Breaks on the outside. Will Jordan does manage to get the try. One moment. I think I blew something in my nose with the celebration there. And I would also blow a gasket, says Stephen. And I was how are the Sharks playing today? So they actually played yesterday up against Zebre. And also we have got, and they're a great try and stretch them, says Mr. Toad. And he backs himself, says Joe Webby. And yeah, the thing is with Will Jordan, he backs himself, but he also has brilliant rugby knowledge for such a young player. And that's not very professional, says Mr. Toad. It's not. But I think what would have looked less professional is if I had snot running down my face during this live stream, just because that would be a bit rough, wouldn't it? And also, we get the Aussies playing like they've got fire under their feet, and they were rusty last night. They won, but yeah, says Pieto Smith. And also, where does he get the try? Says Captain. So it was out on the right-hand side of the field, and they were able to convert. So an easy enough kick for Richie Moonga to be able to get that one over. And also thought on the ref call for last test match, says Kayla Price, there were a lot of 50-50s that were not the best calls throughout that match from the French referee, but it's one of those ones that I think every game at the moment in World Rugby has had some sort of technicality for the refereeing, whether it's that referees see the games differently. There's a lot that can change each week to week, and I think that's something they need to improve on in the future. Bernard Foley now moving up to the halfway line, nice inside ball to Tom Wright. On the ball, penalty to the All Blacks. No, sorry, penalty to the Wallabies. Taking the quick dab there, Tom Wright, like what he saw from the last team. Oh, has he been taken down by Aaron Smith? Now Geordie Barrett goes across to Richie Moonga. Counter-attack here. Rico Ioane passed the ball. No, instead he's going to cut on the inside. Now he looks for the pass. He's got to pass. Rico, what are you doing, son? He's just decided that he's pretty much a shoo-in for a try. He's blown that one, though, because he had Will Jordan with him. Now it's going to be another advantage for the All Blacks. Geordie Barrett finds the offload back to Moonga. Slapped back by Harry Wilson. It's going back for the penalty. Right. I think there's going to be another yellow card here for a player. Oh, and there might be a bit of a push and a shove going on. And also, slow down now, people. New Zealand mustn't score too many tries here. We box, want to win the Rugby Championship. And also, we have got Go the Ref, says Linus Tube. Right. This is going to be a yellow card, I believe. And also, Rico, you ball hog. That was bad from Rico there. He had visions of channeling his inner 2019 or something, running down the wing, cutting on the inside. And then to get it very wrong, right, they're going to be checking this one. Who started it? Says Captain Bunny. I want to say I'll have another look just to see who did end up instigating it. Broken hearts all around for Aussie. So Moonga, he looked like he was going to go for the kick. Then Rico Ioane, he stepped through a gap. This is when he needed to pass. He had Will Jordan with him with all the pace in the world. Went himself, got well and truly isolated. And then Brodie Retallick, it was actually the leg chop from James Slipper. Did he get back on side? I think is the big question. So Ethan de Groot, he ended up smacking into Marika Korombeti, and that's actually what initially started the push and shove. And also so fast he tripped over himself. Okay, they want to see the tackle again. And also, Ricky, he's a winger, not so much a centre, and I don't understand why he's like this. Says Scrumless, it is called wanting to win. Well, I guess the nicest way is saying you want to be the glory boy. You want to be the man that everyone looks at and goes, wow, look at the tries he's been able to score. Whereas sometimes people give the credit to the assist just as much. Didn't want Will Jordan getting his double, that is for sure. Right. Does James Slipper wrap his legs, or did he cynically Okay, it's been wrapped. He just went very low. So I think the big question is whether or not he was onside, and definitely man of the match. Tim says Sebastian. Also, red headgear dude should be in the bin. Says it was John there. Red headgear dude, I believe that's Harry Wilson, isn't it? Okay, so there's no problem in terms of the fact that he did wrap there for James Slipper, but I believe he was offside. But I've only had a moment. It didn't work out, says Mr. JJ. It looks like one's onside. It's a comment from Andrew Brace. This one's going to take a little bit of time to break down by the looks of it. And also they come on Wallabies. And like they're saying, if it wasn't offside and it was a wrap, you're offside, you never got back onside. I think that was just to save themselves, because if they didn't do that, then they wouldn't have known who to give the ball to. And also I remember the way they talked about him and portrayed him in that six-part ESPN documentary. I wonder if he thinks he has to live up to something. Says Scrumless and great commentary, cuz says Pietro. And also if Rugby Itch gives pretty man of the match, I quit rugby, says Sebastian as well. Penalties conceded. We've seen 8 against the Wallabies in the first 26 minutes of this contest. Now the All Blacks, they will be about 7 metres out from the line out, or from the Australian line, with the line out, I should say. In fact, a little bit closer to the 10 All Black supporter for life. De Hendricks says it was Dawood. And the chat as well, Sebastian, don't be that guy, says Mr. Toad. And also we have got there, send the Oz back on a Jetstar flight, says Linus Jim. Jetstar's pretty nice, isn't it? I remember going on Jetstar as a child. You got some jelly beans. That was from the people on the plane as well, I should mention, not on the way. Now, rolling maul starting to open up here for the All Blacks. This is going to be extremely hard to stop. They have sacked it. It's going to be a penalty try, and I believe someone else is going to see another one of these. Penalty try. Wallabies drag it down. Andrew Brace has no option but to get his yellow card out. Mine kind of looks like it's a green card. But who is it? Who's going off the field? Marika wants to run away. Marika's just run to the halfway line, and it looks like Artie Savi has done some damage to his knee. But Dave Parecki, yellow card for him. Is my face see-through? It kind of is. That's kind of weird, isn't it? And also we have got there, when Richie passed it back, yellow card, says John. And also we have got there, very professional rugby call, mate, says the Gary Lane. And also lime green, says Mr. JJ. Looking forward to the Aussie versus Ireland game in November. Will be interesting. Certainly will be. Someone's going off. So this time now, Dave Parecki has been yellow carded. And also we have got the red card coming up, says Linus Tube. And the negative one, says Mr. Toad. And also hold the yellow card up. We can see the game. Wait, really? Oh, that's a red. That's the wrong way around. And now it's going to be Richie Moonga. Kicks it downfield, nicely taken. Andrew Callaway now gets it off to Bernard Foley. It looks like the Wallabies, they want to get themselves back into this contest in the next few minutes. Would be very probable or very ideal. Bowden Barrett's gone for a bit of a kick. It's a bit of a banana one. It's curling, trying to go towards the touchline. Andrew Callaway takes it nicely, and he's broken through the tackle of Bowden Barrett, which then means that they will be able to take it down the field. Will Jordan has got this one now on the halfway line. It's moved up to halfway. It's going to be the penalty there against, I believe he ran behind Brody Retallick. So this time Will Jordan is the man who was penalty. And I was over there, what's the odds right now, says Dark Scar Flame. So the odds for this contest, I assume you just want winner and loser type thing rather than certain score margins. At the moment, New Zealand to win, it is $1.15. Australia to win, $4.60. Also, don't take the bait. And fight AB, says Keza. And also, we have got their seems one-sided so far, says Brent Sharp. Yeah. The moment the All Blacks, they've had some very good opportunities to score. They've been able to get over the line twice. In fact, I should update it so that it says penalty try on my thingy, shouldn't I? Penalty try. It always feels weird writing a penalty try as a try scorer because we're normally used to actual names being there. Savia, they have said it was brought down illegally. And because of it, they did end up having the man in the bin. That is Dave Parecki. So they haven't currently got a line-out thrower. So more than likely, maybe Falau Fainga'a. Nice short ball. Off now to Pete Samu. He's going to be the line-out thrower. And boy, that's a great run from Samu. Only 2 meters out from the line now for Australia. Can they get straight back into this contest with a man disadvantage? They've got the advantage as well. 2 not rolling. That's against Cody Taylor. Only just short of the line. Another advantage that time. Dalton Papali'i trying to slow it down. That was relatively cynical. And that's going to be Marika Korombeti. They're going to check his feet to see how it was. This could actually end up being Marika Korombeti's try and maybe a yellow card for Dalton Papali'i. The good ending is fine. On-field decision is right. Good evening, Hamish. Just got home from work. Haven't missed anything. Couple tries, couple yellow cards against Australia as well in this contest. But this could be the try for the Wallabies here. And also, we have got their soft try, says Mr. Toad. Right, what have they got here? But yeah, Dalton Papali'i, he didn't really roll away when he was on the line, which is something I'm looking at as relatively cynical offence. So whether or not they look at that as well, right. So they're going to look, oh, Marika's foot was on the touchline. So that's going to be a no try. But I think you need to go back a little bit further and look at Papali'i. They've just gone no try. So it's going to be a penalty to the Wallabies 5 metres out for not rolling away. So Papali'i may be a little bit lucky there. And also Foley Mate says sweet as and also numbers, but shifting. And it looked Tammy says golden guest and also great live stream. This channel is 100% worth a like and a subscribe. So anyone who hasn't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. You guys all being here for these streams. We have got plenty more coming all throughout the night. I think I'm going to be wearing the suit for all of the other matches, which is a bit weird because normally I do wear it for only a couple of them. But yeah, if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Jake Gordon, short ball now goes off to Rob Valetini, getting close to the line for the Wallabies. Pete Samu, oh, was that a knock on the ground? No, it wasn't. They do say play on. Now just a metre short for the Wallabies. Rob Valetini off to Harry Wilson. Oh, how's he short there? I thought he was going over for all money, and the ball has come loose. And the All Blacks, have they been able to steal it? Who's got it? The All Blacks are all calling for the knock on. What's happened here? Okay, so Alan Alatoa is the one that they think could have possibly scored the try. First of all, though, I believe it's going to be a goal line dropout for New Zealand for the player being held up. So that is how they have decided to rule it. Well, they won. It was very hectic for half a second there. Everyone was just in the breakdown. And also more points for ABs, more cards for the Wallabies, says YouTube user, and keep up the good work, cards. I'm going to do some work. Cheers, boys, says Pieto Smith. So, yeah, we'll see you later on. And, yeah, like the stream for the brother, says Lloyd Harry Wilson. Drives hard. Ethan de Groot gets him in the ribs, though. Well, a good drive and tackle backwards, 40 metres out from the line. Now the Wallabies. It will be Alan Alatoa. Goes on the inside to Rob Valetini. Papali'i looking for the turnover. 40 out still for the Wallabies. It is Jed Holloway, one of the men who received the yellow card for the Wallabies, is now back out on the field. Good tackle made by Geordie Barrett on Len Ikatel. I believe his teammate in the centres, Lalakai Fekete, has not returned from his HIA as of yet. Savia tries to steal the ball. He just slaps it away, though. And that's going to be a double blow of the whistle here. This might now become the last warning for the All Blacks. Everyone's just getting penalised. 8 penalties against Australia, 6 against New Zealand. Okay, tackle first, then you can compete, is the comment from Andrew Brace. And go the All Blacks, says Janasa. And also I can see number 17 on the board. We're doing good so far. Good to be back, Hamish. Back to the team I love, says Spider Meek as well. Wait, so you have transitioned back. So you've gone from the All Blacks to now you were a Springbok supporter. Now you're back to the All Blacks, I assume because they're possibly going to win the Rugby Championship. So you decided you better go back before the end of the competition. Harry Wilson, though, winding up for a massive shot. Ethan de Groot did very well. Ian Foster should be feeling good right about now, says Caleb Price. Yeah, I think he'll be happy enough. Although the Wallabies, if they score now, that will certainly make him a little bit sad going into halftime. Have I still got him? Yeah, he's still on a stick. He's looking a bit worse for wear down here. It looks like he's been beaten up. Maybe that's because he didn't select Will Jordan at fullback again. Someone's had a right good go at him. But yeah, I did have Ian Foster on a stick from a long time ago. He's still slowly surviving, slightly. And also, we have got the 1K plus viewing and only 100 likes. And a like, says Bella in there. Yeah, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. And also, we've got the good luck Wallabies in there from, it was Captain Bunny. And don't forget, 31-13 became 39-7, or 37, exactly right. There's still a chance for the Wallabies in this game. They are not out until they are out of the contest, which is at the full-time siren. Now, Jake Gordon, nice pass off to Jed Holloway. Does very nicely. 10 metres out from the line here for the Wallabies. Looking off to the right. Gives it to Geordie Patai. He's had it stripped away from him. Looks like James Slipper's just been able to give that ball straight to Brodie Retallick. Now penalty back in the favour of the Wallabies. Holding on penalty against Sam Whitelock, I believe, this time has been penalised. Double blow of the whistle. There's going to be another last warning for the ABs. Okay, captain, Sam Whitelock. Aaron Smith is still over. I think he is co-captain, I would assume. Oh, okay, never mind. So Aaron Smith, he was over with Sam Whitelock, and he's just been told by Andrew Brace, if you talk to me again, I'm going to send you off the field. So Aaron Smith, he won't be too mouthy in the next little while, I wouldn't think, or else he might be receiving quick one of those, a green card, because it should be yellow, but the green screen didn't quite work. Guaranteed 3 points, but they decide to turn it down and instead just take the quick tap and throw Rob Valentini straight into the line. Harry Wilson now hitting it up as well. Andrew Callaway, the double from last week for the try scored. Now Harry Wilson go on himself. Him and Valentini and Samu, in fact, all three of the loose forwards for the Wallabies have been looking impressive. Now Callaway, quick hands. Tom Wright, ball on the outside, goes off to Marika Kuramberi. Not a lot of space. Tries to get the offload back in, and it has bounced up to Aaron Smith, who now decides to run it sideways. Gives it off to Brodie Retallick, who looked for the offload. Nice sell of the dummy. Lomax finds the offload now. Rico passes the ball. That's the most surprising thing we have seen throughout this whole test match. Now Bowden Barrett kicks away downfield looking for the 50-22. It's going to pull up inside of the 22, but not into touch. Jordan Pataya tackled by Rieko Ioane on the Wallabies 22. Frantic pace. The All Blacks, they counter ruck. Who's got it? It's going to be just in the hands of Tom Wright, who has sacrificed his body to get in the bottom of that breakdown and now might be regretting it because his spine's probably a bit sore because he's got a Brodie Retallick on it. And I think go to the ABs, and there says YouTube user. And good luck to both teams, says Armani, and go to boys. And hello. Sorry, I'm late, says Ollie. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Jake Gordon's had a slip and slide inside of the 22, but it's still a very good clearance from there. No try, says a YouTube user there as well. Right. Frantic pace, 35 minutes into this contest now. And both of the sides seems like they aren't really slowing down, which is good to see. Maybe both sides were taking it a bit more methodically at the start of the contest, just trying not to gas out early. Okay, it looks like the line out is going to be going the way of the All Blacks. We've had time off here. Did they just say that Lalakai Fakiti's back out on the field? They might have. That's going to be closed again by Australia. Actually, it's going to be closed by the All Blacks. They march forward, and because of it, it's a free kick to the Wallabies. And Ozzy Guitar says, Nazi Williams, maybe at halftime if you're lucky. We might try a little bit off the guitar. And Smithy, 100 IQ tonight in there, and pressure at Messi. If the ABs win with a bonus point, they secure the Rugby Championship, don't they? The thing is, if they win with a bonus point, it still isn't a guarantee. South Africa would need to win with a bonus point also. And then on top of how many points the All Blacks win by, South Africa would have to do that plus 13 extra, or 14 extra, in fact, to be able to go through and win themselves the Rugby Championship. Good counter ruck from the All Blacks there. Smith milks it beautifully, passes it straight into Harry Wilson. Now Cody Taylor, ball on the outside to Geordie Barrett. Great tackle made on him by Jake Gordon. Players have fallen over all over the place. One of those ones how, you know, when you see a marching band all doing the crisscross backwards, these players were running forwards and they still were getting it wrong. Will Jordan links up with Aaron Smith and not quite able to go all the way. It's a good clean out. Savia goes to Retallick. 10 metres out from the line now for the All Blacks. Can they get themselves another try in this first half right at the end? Kere Ioane, first carry for him of the match, but Pete Samu's on it quickly. And that will be the penalty to the Wallabies. I was really want to see the honky tonk man perform at halftime, says Stephen Bissett, and also ref is questioning every decision. And also at that light button, guys, he works really hard and long hours, giving us this and does a great job, says Oscar. Yeah, we have got a few more a little bit later on in the evening. We have got, first of all, this match that we are doing now. We have then got the post-match review, which will be starting at 9 p.m. New Zealand time on this channel. Then we have got the NRL semi-final. We are doing that over on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, which is our other secondary channel. Then after that, we're coming back to this channel for the Stormers when they take on Connacht. Then we are doing Pumas versus South Africa. And then if we've still got the energy and I'm not asleep by that stage, it will be about 7 a.m. in the morning New Zealand time. We will be hopefully doing Lions versus Osprey. So we have got another 12 hours or so of streaming for today, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new and you are enjoying the commentary, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It's hugely appreciated. I'm going to be wearing a suit for a long time, which is very weird. I normally only wear it for a few hours. And cheers for the explanation, boss. Says Sebastian, no worries. And Pete Samu, great play. He certainly is, to be honest. We don't deserve to win it. Sorry, Anne. Says Mr. Jojo. I'm sure he'll be. I was going to say I'll have to turn his smile upside down, but does he smile? It doesn't look too happy. I mean, I could turn him upside down like that. It kind of looks. It actually looks like he's smiling more now than he was the right way up. But he was happy earlier on in the week. I did see him having a drop kicking contest with Sever Reese. He actually struck them better than me, to say the least. I think a subscriber says Mr. JJ and Foster has improved his coach and fish and chips at halftime. Says Scrum Lass there. And also the busy night says Quake Girl. And also my game of choice is for tonight is Toulouse versus Racing 92. It's too good of a contest, says Sebastian. Is this your only suit? It is. Believe it or not, I do not have more than one suit. This is actually the suit that I had for my school ball back in the day. Luckily, I still fit it, or else I would have to get another one fitted, which would take quite the budget. I have a few ties, though. I normally wear the same tie. Maybe I'll try and mix up the tie by the end of the night. The rolling maul for the Wallabies here, 38 minutes in. They have been told to use it once again. Jake Gordon with a good clearing kick. Downfield, halfway, taken beautifully by Caleb Clark. It's been brilliant under the high ball throughout the Rugby Championship. Now Smith goes across to Lomax, decides to run it hard. And Rob Valentini, always risky to do with how dangerous that man is with being able to hold up. A rolling maul, Barrett goes to Barrett. If only there was a third Barrett, then we could have gone Barrett to Barrett to Barrett. Now Smith going back to the left-hand side. Whitelock gives it to Moonga. Tries a little bit of a sneaky pass. Interception. Bernard Foley having to try and pack his pace. He's going to be tackled low. Was it late? It was close to being late, that is for sure. Bowden Barrett, though, gets the ball back for the ABs. Now kicking it downfield, looking for the 50-22. There's no one back there. Does he get the bounce of the ball that he's after? It's close. And it's still in the field of play somehow. Tom Wright managed to shin it back to Andrew Callaway, who kicks it into touch. Why aren't we doing such a frantic one in this match? It seems like the first 20 minutes, to compare it, the first 20 minutes was like playing a nice game of chess. Every once in a while, the pieces moving. Then someone came along with the monster truck and ran over that chessboard multiple times. That's what's happening in the game now. It's an absolutely incredible pace being showed by both of these sides. Thrown in by Cody Taylor. Was it straight? Yes, it was. And now the rolling maul for the All Blacks. And like the formal look, the tie looks sharp, man. Keep up the style, says Nico. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. Now, Jed Holloway almost able to break over the top. Aaron Smith goes back to Richie Mwanga, looking for a little chip in behind. Well taken by Callaway, who does take the mark. Will Jordan was right on his heels if he did mess that one up. Maybe that's the problem. Too many Barretts, says Mr. JJ. And also 5-point comeback. JK, I don't know. Go Skippy, says it was Noob. And there's Owen, Big Love David, says Sebastian to David there. But this kick is going to go into touch from Andrew Callaway. Nicely taken by Geordie Barrett. Or in fact, Bowden Barrett. He can't do that, can he? No, he was way into the field. Or way out of the field. And no one wins at the Fortress. Not even my Warriors. Low up the All Blacks, says David. And also, is there Hallensteins and Waimeti? There is not. The closest Hallenstein, I believe, is 30 minutes away. That's our closest one. We haven't got a warehouse, haven't got a Farmers, haven't got a KFC, haven't got a McDonald's, haven't got a pretty much anything. We've got a fish and chip shop, and that's about it. A bit one-sided, says Mr. Toad. Yeah, halftime in this contest, 17 points to 0 in favour of the All Blacks. Will Jordan scoring the opening try of the contest, and then the penalty try did go the way of the All Blacks as well. And that was with the second yellow card we did end up seeing. And I was in no case, says Mr. Toad. And I was like, where are you from? I'm from a small town in South Canterbury called Waimeti. Not too many people probably have heard of it, unless you are from either the South Island or you do know someone from Waimeti. Do you have an AB's tie? I don't, but if that is a thing, I'm actually going to look it up now for halftime while I am getting the stats. All Blacks tie. Is that a thing? It is a thing. From the All Blacks shop for 40 New Zealand dollars, you can get yourself kitted out with an All Blacks tie. Might have to look into it, maybe. And I know why Maddie says Mr. Toad. And also, finally, he used his head to pick the right team. We never lost at Eden. Keep it that way. And also, very good first half from the ABs. Got to secure the bonus point in the second. A nice place, says Mr. Toad. Yeah, it's certainly nice and quiet. You know, not a lot happens, but it's kind of nice that way. They had a game of the Heartland Championship here in New Zealand, actually just down the road. South Canterbury able to get themselves a good win. And also, how's the up dog, Hamish? How's the up dog? The up dog. How's the up dog? Am I the up dog? I don't know. I'm good. That's the question. And I was ex to Maru boy living in Taiwan. Of course, I know where Waimeti is. That's the thing. Everyone either knows someone from Waimeti or they know someone who lives by Waimeti. That seems to be the thing. And is this the type of count? Says Caleb Price. Type of count? Type of count? I'm confused. Oh, what's up, Dog? Says Lloyd. I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. I feel like everything's going over my head at the moment, isn't it? And also, what's up, Dog? Says Laurie, doing very well. And Bruno, I went to Timaru Boys. And then also defence by the ABs was better. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Says Scrum Lesson. That's all good, Hamish. At least you didn't have emergency housing motels like Rotorua the Pits. Says David the Mod. And also, we have got there a little bit earlier on. Very good first half from the ABs. Got to secure the bonus point in the second. And that is certainly going to be a key for them if they want to win the Rugby Championship. Every extra point is massive. And also, we're just old, aren't we, Hamish? Bloody kids these days can't comprehend them, says Sebastian. That's the thing. I feel like my vocabulary is that of a 40-year-old. You know, like anytime I say something that sounds like it should be hip, just doesn't come across as hip. I don't know if it's the way that I say it. Like if I said, like, this game so far has been lit, doesn't feel right. These two, what's another young person saying? I don't even know all the new sayings. It was, what, I don't even, I'm old. I'm old, everyone. I think I'm old. Unfortunately, I don't know what all the cool kids are saying nowadays. Don't know what they're doing, but it's lit. Is there a type of content, or is this the type of content a regular thing on this channel? Says Caleb Price. We do a lot of live streams, whether it's international games, the URC. We also have a few other videos. We did used to do a bit of gaming. We are looking to bring that back a little bit more in the future, perhaps. But yeah, we've got plenty of it in the future. All weekends, I think we normally do about 5 to 10 live streams. And also, Hamish from London says, Theo, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing very well. And I think the Wallabies are losing the plot in this game. And Hamish, nothing like old, only in the mind, says the Puna. And I don't understand them either, says Mr. Toad. And also respect homie. Try that one, says Alan King. See, if I say homie, I feel like it sounds too close to hammy, which is what some of you guys call me. So it's all good, homie. Wallabies are looking lost. They haven't quite been able to find their feet, have they, unfortunately, throughout this game. We have so far, though, seen 205 metres carried by the Wallabies compared to the 296 of the ABs. Defenders beaten 20 for the All Blacks and 6 for the Wallabies. Clean breaks 6 to the 2 in favour of the ABs, and also 6 offloads to just the 1 that we did see from the Wallabies. The Wallabies missing those 20 tackles. Hamish isn't new. It's gangster. I could be considered a bit of a gangster. Just not really by many people, unfortunately. And you know what to say? Guess is back again. Izzy back. Tell a friend. Welcome in, Izzy. Hope you are doing very well, mate. If you are excited to see the ending of this match. Still 40 minutes left in this game. And I will mention at 9 o'clock or so, we are going to be starting our post-match review of the game. It is going to be an awesome one to watch. And I am certainly looking forward to seeing exactly what happens for that one. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, like I mentioned. And now the penalty try of the All Blacks. It wasn't the 27th minute. Quite a tough one, because at the end of the day, they did get it very wrong. The Wallabies trying to drag that one down, and it did go straight into the yellow. And also, mate came late. Who is the ref? It is Andrew Brace of Ireland, who has already given the 2 yellow cards to the Australians throughout this contest. And SJK, or Sir John K, going to be there, says Scrumless. And also, awkward slang is a South Island thing, says Ben Huey. And Wallabies not fighting back, as it was expected. And 2 more tries for the bonus point, and then the cup's as good as ours, says David. And the Wi-Fi is out, so can't watch the game, so I'm stuck watching your house, says Janelle. I mean, I'll take it. I guess thanks for watching. I hope your power does end up coming back soon. Oh, no, sorry, your Wi-Fi. That's the thing. With my Wi-Fi, I have to reset the modem about 7 times. If you do that, it might help be a little bit quicker. And we need a bonus point and about 30 in the margin. Keep the South Africans at bay. And if I lived in Waimea, I don't think I would be too streetwise either. Nah, it's very quiet here. Like, the weirdest thing, or the I guess most gangster thing you'll see in Waimea is maybe, I don't even know. I don't think we got really anything gangster. You might see like someone crossing the road near a pedestrian crossing, because you know that that's illegal. Should be using that crossing, but people don't. I'm really not a gangster or hip or anything. Along those lines, they should be back, or they should bring back Geordie Barrett at 14. Scored 4 versus Italy. And also, we've got their winners the next half. It is going to be starting in about 5 minutes' time. 8 penalties against both of these sides, but the penalties conceded is the big difference maker between the two teams. We have seen the All Blacks have 2 turnovers conceded, whereas Wallabies 9. And also, we have got there Australia can't help but open their legs in the second half, says Theo. And also, we have got there, I'm gangsta and I live in Waimo, says George. Are you coming in for the NRL, George? Do let me know. And does anyone have a blow valve in a car in Waimedi? A blow valve, is that one that makes it louder? I don't really know too much about cars, so I feel like that also probably puts me down in terms of the hip and gangster regimen. And gangster is like, so yesterday, hello, says Laurie. You probably don't even have traffic. No, I'm not, says George. Fair enough. But looking through at some of the player stats for this contest, Bowden Barrett had 24 metres carried. Was playing fullback for that first half. I believe in the second, when they start making subs, we may see a bit of a transition for some of these guys in the back. Will Jordan, 96 metres carried, 6 carries, 4 defenders beaten, and 2 clean breaks. Rieko Ioane, 95 metres, the most out of any player, 3 carries and 4 defenders beaten. And then it is also going to be for the Wallabies, the most metres carried is Bernard Foley, having 68 metres carried for himself, and also Homie, so 90s. And you're very gangster, George, says Isaac. Are you going to do the NRL and the All Whites tomorrow, says Darren. So the NRL, we are going to be covering on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. So be sure to check that out. We will be starting at about 9:50 straight after we finish our post-match review of this game. And then the All Whites tomorrow, it's going to be in the afternoon. So I may be missing that one, as I could still be sleeping at that stage, and give Finn a run. Is that like I'm finna going to get a haircut? I don't think that's how you use it, is it? And guess a Rooney is gangster, says George Mower. Says George Meyer, the lawnmower. And also, hi there from Cape Town, enjoying the commentary. I'm secretly hoping the Aussies come back in the second half, says Giovanni. Although, it is a known fact, if Australia win this match, New Zealand don't have the Rugby Championship as secure as they would like. So it's a big one. Maybe that could be the case of South Africa making their way back in. And g'day, Isaac. And also, Artie, a bit quiet, says Joe Webby. I think he might be nursing a bit of a knee injury at the moment. After that rolling maul, he did look a little bit sore after it. Who would we do if we choose to sub both centres? Would Reece at 13 work? I think both centres off is a big call. Having Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and Sever Reece. I think no matter what, they're going to keep either Bowden out there for long enough. Maybe they transition Richie Mo'unga to number 12. If Rieko gets injured, though, they may try. Who else have we got? Caleb Clark at outside centre. Who knows? Maybe in the future they might consider trying something along those lines. And also, we're going to how many more tries does New Zealand need to win the Cup Championship, says Kevin Layla. So the way that it is sitting currently for New Zealand on the table, they have got a points differential of 13 ahead of the Springboks. Whatever New Zealand do in this game, the Springboks need to do that plus some to be able to win the championship. So if New Zealand get the bonus point, they will be sitting on 19 points. And that would mean South Africa need the bonus point up against Argentina if they then want to receive that Rugby Championship chance as well. But they'll still have to beat Argentina by more than 14 extra points than what we see the All Blacks beat the Wallabies by. So it does seem like it's going to be a tough one. But if the Wallabies can fire back in this one, who knows? Maybe it will well and truly turn it around. And also, Panthers will maul the Rabbitohs. And how many? Oh, no, I read that one. And Geordie at 13, says Joe Webby. And also, Fakatawa in the centres. And also, Scrumless, I think that's the first time I've seen the Diamond TKL badge. And also, life begins at 40, Hamish. So I've still got a little bit of time till my life begins, I guess you could say. So what does that mean for me now? Am I just an infant up until the stage of 40 and 7 to 14? Says Captain Bunny. And also, let's go the All Blacks, says Christopher. Looking through at a few of the other stats, though, for that first half, we did see some good tackling made by both sides. Dalton Papali'i having 12 tackles, one turnover in the process as well. Akira Ioane, 9 tackles and the 1 turnover, 1. And then for Australia, the leading tackler was actually Andrew Callaway with 7, alongside Pete Samu, who made 7, and Alatoa, who did have 7 as well. And also, we have got the, are you doing the NRL Grand Final next Saturday or next Sunday? We are indeed. So be sure to keep an eye out on the Kiwi Lads Sport YouTube channel for that one. And Scrumless, you legends, says Isaac. And also check out the Electric Temples, Isaac's band, says Sebastian. Be sure to check it out. They did release a new single. Went quite viral for himself as well. And when did you start getting Vatos in your channel, Hamish? Vatos. When did you start getting Vatos in your channel? Vatos. What is Vatos? Do let me know. Are you doing South Africa versus Argentina? We certainly are. We are going to be streaming it on the channel, and that will be starting from about 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time, just after we finish the match prior, and that is going to be the matchup between the Stormers and Connacht. And there as well, starting soon, very soon. I think they will be back out on the park, and love the tunes, mate. It's my pleasure, said Sebastian. And also we have got there Savia, or sorry, who was that a little bit earlier on? It was Samu playing out of his skin. Yeah, he's had a very good finish to the Rugby Championship. And also we have got then Ishay Lads, says Nathan Abe's going for another 17 points in the second half, says Wusha Dusa, or Wusha Dos Dusa. Hopefully I've said that correctly. I feel like I got it a little bit wrong. And also, hi, Brandon, little bro, and hey, Katie. See that, Brandon. And the chat, but do let me know your score predictions for the full match. Who's going to be winning this one? And if it is New Zealand that you back, are they going to be able to do enough to get the bonus point to get themselves? And the benefit that they've got is they've given away 8 penalties, but so have Australia. And Australia have been yellow carded twice. So that is the one difference. I think the All Blacks are probably only about 1 or 2 penalties inside of their own area away from getting themselves their own yellow card, though, for the match. And also we have got there, you didn't grab your get for the first half, Jam. Oh, that is true. I did miss out on that one. Maybe in the post-match review, we will be able to get it going. And Cherbro tuning in from Japan, he says Retro Rising. So do appreciate it. I reckon it'll be a serial draw, says Isaac. And also how much New Zealand and South Africa win by, claim the championship, says Spider Meek. It's not so much for New Zealand how much they win by. It's just whatever they end up winning by, South Africa have to win by that, match the points, and then get themselves an extra 13 points on top. And actually, it's going to have to be 14. And send me some Manuka honey, says Sir Me in there. And also, we have got there in the chat a little bit earlier on, you can't be confident that the ABs will win going by past games, but they will win, says Joe Webby. And hi, Hamish, the All Blacks win, and Japan listening, says well. So I do appreciate everyone from Japan tuning in. I didn't realize we had so many Japanese viewers, I guess, for this live stream. But they did play earlier on up against the Black Ferns. They're going to be taking part in the Women's Rugby World Cup with the Yellows justified. Just tuning in now, says Annoy. I would say so. One of them was a cynical pull down of the ruck, and then the other was a tip tackle. So they were two that probably needed to be given as what they were. I think Dalton Papali'i got a little bit lucky to escape a yellow card in the first half for not rolling away and slowing the ball down when the All Blacks were only a couple meters out from their line. And also 69 loves you, Hamish. Chat 69 loves you. They do, don't they? They've got eye kissy faces in there as well. They want to try and give me a virus and not just one on my computer. That's a bit dirty, isn't it, for a halftime chat? Now, moving on to the second half, the two sides making their way back out onto the field. Rugby Edits is from Indonesia. And also the box 48 and 15 for the Pumas from Yuri. And also live All Blacks says Kip Sweeter. So hopefully I said that correctly. And why is France so high on the Rugby World ranking? They have been winning a lot of their games. They're currently on about a 12 to 13 match winning streak, I believe, something along those lines for themselves. And Japan and Fiji need to join the Rugby Championship, says username, and perhaps in the future we will get to see it happen. It would be absolutely awesome to see more sides added in. And also, it's something you can give back, says Mr. JJ. And the All Blacks will win the Rugby Championship, says Matthew. But nonetheless, the second half just about to get underway, ladies and gentlemen, for this epic contest of the Bledisloe. The New Zealanders currently leading by 17 points, but the second half underway. And the All Blacks will be kicking off long, taken by Marika Korombeti, met by Will Jordan on the Australian 22. Looks like they need a halfback. There he is, Jake Gordon, just marching up slowly and surely. It's like Papali'i trying to cause a bit of disruption there in the breakdown. Jake Gordon puts the ball up high, just down to the halfway line. Bowden Barrett takes it nicely. Now running sideways. It looks like Aaron Smith has fallen over. Possibly a bit of contact on him by Harry Wilson. Akira Ioane plays half. Now back to Mo'unga. Geordie Barrett decides he wants to go for the kick and looking for the 50-22. If he gets it right, it's dangerous. If he gets it wrong, it was almost going to be out on the full, but it has rolled just outside of the 22 for the All Blacks. And also we have got there, of course, Rico will score first. He won't pass the ball, says Mr. Toad. Oh, Jed Holloway's knee is given out on him. His left knee does not look flash at all here. And this is going to be a bit of a stoppage in play, I would think. Yeah, just ran into Geordie Barrett. Unfortunately, did more damage to himself than Geordie Barrett. And also, the Aussies not coming back on the second half. They're going backwards, says Kenny Toa. I mean, the All Blacks, they were 31-13 up last time. And Australia were able to do very nicely. Again, the ABs blow a 17-point lead. I think Australia surely get themselves some form of points on the board here. Box will win the championship. A little bit earlier on from Yuri, I think, out of respect, the passing of our great queen, all guitar playing is forbidden, says it was David the Mile. Panthers ourselves. I mean, the Panthers are probably the safe bet, but the Rabbitohs could certainly pull off the upset here. Nicholas has said good game coverage from Spain, from a hardcore ABs fan, says Nicholas. What time is it currently for yourself, mate? It must be about 10 a.m., is it, somewhere around there? And also, love your accent. Kiwi, I assume it is indeed a Kiwi accent that you are hearing. Dave Parecki, 1 minute into the second half, throws it in for the Wallabies, taken nicely by Jed Holloway, but it wasn't straight. So the All Blacks now, they are going to have themselves a line out. What is Sam Whitelock complaining about? He has the, do you want a free kick instead? It was not straight. Sam Whitelock was still asking for something extra. I think he wanted a penalty, but at the end of the day, I think a scrum would have been sufficient enough. It was all the way. I'm supporting the All Blacks, says Richard. And Aussie can still turn this around. We all saw what happened last weekend. They lost, says Terry. And also weather will go against Australia, says Theo. And there as well. But now 22 metres out from the line, it is going to be an All Blacks scrum feed. Caleb Clark way out on the wing on the left-hand side. I think he's going to be a dangerous option for them if they do manage to get this one right. Big, strong forwards for both of these sides. Alalatoa versus De Groot is the battle I'm watching very closely. De Groot's elbow's gone down, but the ball was already out. Now Geordie Barrett runs it straight at Bernard Foley, who makes a nice tackle now, going off to the short side. Nice little wrap around. Will Jordan, good tackle on him by Marika Corambetti. Had to be made, or else Jordan might have been able to find himself a gap and go through. Now Brodie Retallick 5 metres out from the line. The All Blacks looking to attack dangerously. Just out in front in the early stages of the second half. The last thing Australia need is a penalty advantage against them. Savia goes back to Lomax, rushed up there from Harry Wilson, covering 5 metres in a very short amount of time. Savia goes around the side once again. It looks like it's going to be left for Cody Taylor this time. Does he take it? He does decide to have the carry. 2 metres short now for the All Blacks. In fact, they're closer to 1. Now Sam Whitelock going to back himself one-on-one. I think he's been held up and he might have dropped the ball in the process as well. Good win for the Valley today, as says Brendan White. And also we have got there, I can't wait for the Rugby World Cup for the women's. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And also Kiwis enjoying your commentary from Croatia, says John Yates. Yeah, awesome to have you here. We've got people from all around the world on this live stream. It is absolutely awesome. And like I mentioned, we are going to be covering the game between Argentina and South Africa just a little bit later on. And Sandy has said this is more exciting than watching it. Says Sandy, so I do appreciate that. Right, they are going upstairs for the TMO. Said whether or not Sam Whitelock was able to go over and get the try. Now, the thing is, it was a good tackle attempt. And I don't think he got it down initially. Angus Bell does well. And I think he actually managed to knock the ball. Yes, he knocks the ball out of Whitelock's hand. Or has he? He's lost control. That is going to be, I believe, theoretically, a knock-on from Sam Whitelock, which then will be a 5-metre scrum for the Australians. And I support Captain Whitelock. He's better than the other guy. And also we have got their Croatia impressive welcome. And good morning, says Alan. Hope you are doing very well, mate. Yeah, having a terrific start of the weekend. Are there any from Alaska in the chat? I don't know if you're allowed to use that word anymore, are you? You have to call them Inuits. I believe it's the politically correct term. Because I know that the candy, or not the candy, but the thingies, the little not chocolate, but those things had to change their name. And also the pies that they have in New Zealand for the ice creams. And Chew, my bro, says McKinney. And also what time is the South Africa game? So New Zealand time, it is going to be 4:05 a.m. Remembering we've got daylight saving, so a little bit towards the equivalent of 3:05 a.m. And then also alongside that, if you're in South Africa, it is going to be a 5:05 kickoff, I believe it is. Also, we have got there, we can't use this, David. And also, we have got there, chilling in the house, says Hamish Wood. Are they trying to say that Whitelock's still got control of this? Well, if they say he hasn't lost control, then that will be a try. But I thought Angus Bell did enough to make him lose contact with the ball here. Is he still holding it? So Angus Bell tries to knock it free. That's still balancing on Whitelock's hand. I think in a really weird angle way, Whitelock has still got that. Joint. Wait, hang on. They've just said about if they've both got their hand on the buoy, not on the buoy, on the ball, does that count as both putting it down simultaneously? And I assume that would go in the direction of no try? Or would it be a try? And also, chocolate, there's too much sweetness for one comment, says Sebastian. There's no clear evidence to say that he's lost the ball. This is going to be a try for Sam Whitelock, I believe. No, now the TMO's saying he's lost control of the ball. No, now they're saying that there's no clear. So he's grounded the ball. It is a try. Alan Alatoa is furious because he said that Angus Bell has been able to knock the ball out of his hands, but Sam Whitelock has been awarded the try. Eden Park is celebrating. I don't think Australia will be. Now that, for now, brings up the bonus point for the All Blacks. And also WTF says, Terry, in try time. Well, that was very confusing, wasn't it? It seemed like the TMO and also the referee both had different ideas of what was going on and what to put down. And I was downward pressure, says Mr. Toad. So, yeah, pretty much what happened was I don't have a rugby ball. I've got a drink bottle, though. So this is my ball, or the rugby ball. So Sam Whitelock had it. He's trying to put it down. He was on his back, but this is going to change a little bit so you guys can see. He tries to put it down. Angus Bell puts his hand on the ball, tries to knock it free. Whitelock still manages to just keep control of it. Bell's hand goes off it, and Whitelock grounds it. And I just grounded that. It fell down on the floor. Luckily, the lid was on, or else that would have been very wet very quickly. So there's a 1.5-litre bottle. Mo'unga with a nice clearance. Down into touch. And now it is going to be a Wallabies line out, but 44 minutes gone in this contest. We've seen the 3 tries from the ABs, still looking to find another one from the Wallabies and their first tries of the match, perhaps. And also New Zealand, they lost last weekend. Nothing is final till the whistle blows. Exactly right. You never know what type of fight back we're going to see from the Wallabies bench. They have got a couple very talented players out there. That's going to go back to Jed Holloway. Now Jake Gordon takes it. First receiver, it will be Jordan Petaia. In fact, no, sorry. It was actually Len Ikitau. No, it was Jordan Petaia. I was right the first time. Should have just stuck with it. Now Jake Gordon back across. This time it's Len Ikitau. Rush defense on Bernard Foley. Missed tackle made by Richie Mo'unga, though. And now 40 metres out from their own line, the All Blacks. Short ball, beautifully done by Will Jordan. He was calling for the ball, but Caleb Clark didn't see him. Instead, he wanted to try and drive Alan Alatoa all the way to the try line. He was giving him a free Uber service while driving the legs. Now Richie Mo'unga finds the offload to Will Jordan. Tries to pierce his way through. Good attack and run from Jordan there. Smith goes back to De Groot. Rush defense from Valentini. Able to stop him. I think he just headbutted Angus Bell in the process as well. Now Smith looks to the short side. Clark trying to go through. Great low tackle made. That time it was Len Ikitau. Now Smith inside ball to Rico Ioane. Smith joins that breakdown. Doesn't want any chance of the Australians being able to turn it over. Currently sitting with it being 24-0. Richie Mo'unga goes off to Geordie Barrett. Kiriwani thinks about having a bit of a pick and a go, and he's taken down by Harry Wilson. He's made quite a few tackles throughout this matchup, although at halftime, the leading tackler for the Australians was only 7. Savia cutting back on the inside, running down the wing just like his bro Julian. He's playing for Wellington at the moment in the Bunnings NBC. They have got themselves there. Ranfurly Shield defending it a bit earlier on up against Waikato. That's going to be a penalty against Jake Gordon for not rolling away. So the advantage goes the way of the ABs. A Smith kick in behind that had absolutely nothing going for it. And they are going to be going back for the initial penalty. Scores wrong, mate, says Darren. I assume it has updated since then, maybe. And also, let's go Penrith Panthers, says EJ. Of course, the next game that we are going to be covering on the channel after our post-match review of this contest. And let's go the Aussies, says Chris. And also up the Boomerangs, says Harry. And Caleb Clark is mud. Needs to learn to tackle, says Harry Snotter. And also we get the up there Rabbitohs, says Chris. And also Iconic home or away. I believe they are away from home for that contest up against the Stormers and Parramatta. We were going crazy last night, says Javondre. Yeah, very close game between them and the Cowboys. But Caleb Clark, he was running hard. If he had found the offload on his right to Will Jordan, it could have been a possible chance for another try for the ABs. But instead, he looked on the inside. All he saw was a blindside flanker. Or in fact, an open side flanker. I believe it was Dalton Papali'i. Also Rico no pass, Ioane and Yolamud. Says it was De Uso. And Aaron taking the 3, says John, that one has gone over, so now it makes the score 27 points to 0 in favour of the All Blacks. An interesting choice to take on the 3 But I guess that's just to make sure that the win is secure before the bonus point. I'm watching watching in England while on a shift at McDonald's, says William. How are you managing that? Have you got like Bluetooth headphones, William? I do know today in New Zealand, they were actually doing walk-in interviews for every single New Zealand McDonald's around the world. Or not around the world, around New Zealand, I should say, around the country. Put your camera on the TV, says Richard. Unfortunately, if we did that, they would take us straight down off YouTube for copyright. We could even get sued. And I don't have any money, so that would be unfortunate. Would have to probably sell the channel. Now, Dalton Papali'i trying to drive his way forward. 25 minutes out. And actually, it's illegal to sell your YouTube channel, so I get sued again. So it just wouldn't go well for me. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, 40 seconds, Foz says, Carl, no, Tuivasa-Sheck, he normally gets like 4 minutes. It's Peter Feta who's the 42nd man after his last performance, sadly. That's going to be a little knock-on the ground from the Wallabies. And now, once again, the All Blacks will have themselves a scrum feed. McDonald's says, Hanoi there. And also can't get blood out of a stone, says Richard Anderson. And also we got there 2,000 staff needed for McDonald's, says Mr. JJ. So, yeah, they pretty much just got everyone off the streets that they could. And then I wonder how many other positions they'll actually fill in. And on currently points is for 40 points, right, says Cameron. So the way that it currently sits, I'll quickly bring up the table. So if the points stay exactly the way that it is now, New Zealand will be on 19 points with a points differential of plus 68. So South Africa would have to win their game with a bonus point and win it by 41 points to be crowned as Rugby Championship victors. So what they need is the Wallabies to do very well. And also, is that genuinely true? You can't sell the YouTube channel. I believe you can't sell it. You can change ownership of it, but you cannot actually sell it. I believe is in YouTube's terms of service. That looks like it's going down in the front row. And also, we have got there. Can you pronounce the principal championship sponsor? Where are they? I cannot see them yet. It's just a little bit above, and I think it ends in land. But it's not going to show me the full name. But once I see it, I will let you know who it is. And also the Panthers will win easy. And also help me here. What should the ABs do to win the trophy? So they just need to keep on doing what they are doing here. They've got a 40-point lead over South Africa for the winning margin. Lipovitan? Lipovitan? D? What is Lipovitan? Is that like some vitamins or something? And also the last match was a joke, says Joseph. Yeah, an extremely close joke, but was high scoring one as well. Watching from Ireland, says Smiley Face. Aaron Smith now on the halfway line. Geordie Barrett breaks through the tackle of Bernard Foley, a man who actually had the most running meters out of any Aussie in the first match. In the first half of this contest. Caleb Clark chucks himself hard at the line. Smith looks to the short side. The ABs have numbers. Will Jordan now on the outside. He has got a Kiriawani with him, and also Aaron Smith now running sideways. Gets back up, tries to find Savia's hand. Marika Korombeti's always kicked the head off of Sam Whitelock. Looks like Nick White looking for an attack and run now. White cut out pass out to Bernard Foley. Passes on the inside. All Blacks swat it back like they play in AFL. Sits up now for Nick White, who has knocked it backwards on his side, and now it's a penalty to the All Blacks. It became a little bit like the AFL Grand Final there, except I guess you could say the difference between the two sides is still not quite at the same points margin as we did see in that game. Japanese drink company. I see. I didn't actually know. And the commentators haven't said the principal sponsor all championship is Harry Snotter. And also, I heard you told Sky now to stick it to the other day, or stick it the other day after the upgrade. So you are doing it a good job, mate, says Richard. And what's the score? 17-0. It is currently 27-0 in favour of the All Blacks. And the latest try, it was scored by Sam Whitelock. That was in the early stages of the second half, currently sitting 51 minutes through. Help me here. I watched the ABs do to win the trophy. They still need to win this game with a bonus point, and any points they put on in this game, South Africa have to beat that, plus add an extra 13 on. So hopefully that is clear enough. Pretty much they need to win with a bonus point to well and truly secure it. They won it by 50 here, which isn't going to happen, but if they won it by 50, you'd have to say it would be a little bit too much for the Springboks to catch up. Even 35 extra points would mean the Springboks have to win up against Argentina by 47. They mostly do energy drinks, says Retro Rising. See, I hadn't actually ever heard of it. I wonder if they sell them in New Zealand. And ABs need 2 more tries for a bonus point, says Obi. And ABs unstoppable, says YouTube user. And also, can Whitelock last to the World Cup? I think he will. I think they'll manage him strategically, they may not play him up against a few of those smaller sides that the ABs aren't feeling as intimidated against someone like an Italy, even though last time Italy played very well up against the ABs. But yeah, they may rest him for a few games just to try and make sure he is going to be available for that Rugby Championship. Same with Retallick. I think they'll slowly, that's going to be another penalty to the All Blacks. That time it was at scrum time, 52 minutes into the contest. And every penalty of the second half is going against the Wallabies. No mercies, ABs. And also we get the Wallabies thrash tonight, says YouTube user, although the game is not over yet. Cody Taylor is shocking. His line-out throws suck unless you're on the opposition side, says John. And that's a draw in my book, says Newbank. And True Tapuna, I think impossible as a Springbok fan, but Box to win the championship, says BK. And all they need is Australia to cancel out that bonus point. The thing is, if Australia cancel the bonus point of the ABs and South Africa win by a bonus point, that is all they need. They will win the Rugby Championship. Lots of penalties, yellow cards might be in order yet again. Maybe very soon. Cody Taylor throws it in. That one is straight. At the back currently for Dalton. Papali'i starting to march sideways. If the Wallabies drag this one down, it will once again be a penalty try. Cadron Neville not able to touch it. Cody Taylor's over. And the rolling maul try for the All Blacks. That is going to be their fourth try. Not yet, only 3 tries, says Darren. Although at the moment, they have got themselves the bonus point, and now they move up to 4 because in the competition for the Rugby Championship, it is actually 3 tries or more than your opposition, different to a lot of the other competitions around the world. Pretty much what that means is if one side scored 9 tries and the other scored 7 tries, the team who scored the 9 do not get that attacking bonus point because they weren't able to beat them by 3 or more tries. It's a bit of a weird one, but I guess it's just the way that it is written. Cody is okay, says Mr. JJ, and he has just been able to get himself over the try line. Do New Zealand have a bonus point? They currently do. Australia need to score twice to cancel out that bonus point. Is Sheik on the field? Not quite, but hopefully does get a little bit of time. New Zealand has bonus points, Springbok fans, says BK there. And also, what's wrong with Cody, says Mr. JJ. I think it's because he hasn't had the best form as of late, but that was a good try set up by him. And I think it's because a lot of people want to see Taukei'aho as the first selection hooker for the ABs. But it's interesting because last year, it was the opposite. No one wanted to see Taukei'aho in the lineup. They felt his lineouts weren't quite accurate enough. Felt he had a long way to come, but he's been training very hard. So score 32 points to 0 with a kick to come for the ABs from Richie Mo'unga. And strange 3 tries bonus point, says Darren. So pretty much if you score 3 tries more than your opposition, so if you had 3 tries but the opposition had 2, you don't get the bonus point. Same with 1 and everything along those lines. But Richie Mo'unga, normally pretty accurate, which is why I'll probably miss this. And he has. Sorry, Mo'unga. Did jinx you a bit there, mate. But it's going to be 55 minutes through and 32-0 in favour of New Zealand. So the try scorer so far, we have seen Will Jordan, Cody Taylor. Also, it was Sam Whitelock. And then the penalty try. All Crusaders tries scored in this matchup, even though there are actually 10 Blues players in the 23 that were selected. Penalty try counts towards the try bonus point, lads, says Sebastian, and confusing clear as mud, says Darren. And just got back from the AFL Grand Final. How bad has the Wallabies been, says Xavier. They just haven't really been able to find themselves any momentum in this contest as of yet. They've had 2 yellow cards. This ball's been turned over there, though. This be their chance. Marika Koromberi goes across to Angus Bell. I feel like the more tries the All Blacks score, the more I regret my try scorer prediction. For the first try of the match, I said it would be Marika Koromberi. They are yet to get themselves a try in this contest. Now a little drop. Oh, that's a big shot from Ethan de Groot. Trying to break straight through. Nick White gets there in the middle. He's getting a bit of a point from Nick White. Oh, Ethan de Groot gave him the cry a little bit more, bud. Okay. Nick White has just been told, if you keep reacting like that, you little man, I will reverse the penalty. I don't think that was quite the words that Andrew Brace used, but I think that's what he was thinking in his head. Nick White, he's been explosive since coming on the field, though. He's had quite a few good opportunities to get that backline going. And Nick White is so aggro, gotta love him, says Mr. Toad. He's certainly that's the thing. The passion that he shows is as if he's 6'4", and he doesn't care if he throws his body around. But he just doesn't quite have that size. And Flanders, aka Nick White, big shot from Ethan de Groot. It was a little bit late. And also Leonard Cattell didn't actually have the ball in his hands, but they did consider it just as the penalty from before. And sounded like soccer on aggregate, says Kerman. Right, Aaron Smith going to be going off the field. Finley Christie making his way onto the park now. Also, the whole front row being replaced. That is Cody Taylor, Ethan de Groot, and also the man who started at number 3, Tyrell Lomax. Ofa Tuangafasi has made his way out there. Samasoni Tokiaho and Nepo Lulala. So a lot of changes for the All Blacks all at once. They are going to be defending now 10 metres out from the line. Rolling ball starting to open up here for Australia. Now, the thing is, if the All Blacks give away a cynical penalty here, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up with a man in the bin. But Brodie Retallick straight over the top, trying to hang on to it. It looks like he's made it awkward. The ball has gone down, and it's a scrum feed for the All Blacks. Brilliant work from the 4-pack there, including big Brodie Retallick, who reached straight over the top of the Wildcards, where the rest is Alan King, and a hot dog still $10 each at Eden Park. They look very big, though. I saw one earlier. It was like this big. It looked like he was like the size of a trout or something that you catch in the river. Of course, fishing season coming up relatively soon. I wouldn't recommend putting a whole fish in a hot dog, though. I feel like that would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Definitely if you don't cook the fish first. Not quite sushi. Also, congratulations on winning the trophy. Australia just wasted a good game this afternoon, says Yanoni now. And that mustache is fire and $10 well, says Mr. Toad. And also we have got there Atakawai Titi in the crowd. Right, he looks happier now. He was there earlier on. Richie Mo'unga was taking on the 3 points, and he didn't look impressed at all. He was just on his phone. What's going on here? Oh, they got a 3, didn't they? Good. That's what Takawai Titi was like. 10 metres out from their own line. And yeah, the grand final result is not in favour of Sydney Swans, that is for sure. Also not a fan, says Mr. Toad. And also, oh, you're small, I guess, Hamish. Jake says Mr. JJ. I mean, I'm not the biggest individual in the world, I should say. Well, there's probably a lot of individuals bigger than myself. Good run from Geordie Barrett. He is one of them. Finley Christie back into the pocket. Richie Mo'unga partially charged down, taken nicely. Now down the wing, Pete Samu tries to find the offload. Taken by Folau Fainga'a. Momentum is a wonderful thing, and he slid over like he's a penguin from the Ice Age. Were there penguins in the Ice Age? I think they're men in Antarctica. But that's going to be the try for Lau Fainga'a. He's only been on the field for a little moment. That man is dressed as a kangaroo, and he is absolutely loving what he's just seen from the Wallabies. It was a mistake initially, the charge down kick of Richie Mo'unga, which then led to the counter-attacking opportunity for the Wallabies. They went over, and plenty of momentum from about 5 metres out that slide started, and it did not finish until he was over the line for Lau Fainga'a. Like this. And like this, and that is going to be the first try of the contest for the Wallabies. So the bonus point is still in favour of the All Blacks, but they are only 1 try up now, which is something to certainly look at. In fact, they would still need, they still need 1 more try. And hurry up. AB's need another try, says Golden Guest, and 2 early of Javon Ray. Wait for Hamish's reaction. And Australia is useless coming out of the box, even if they wanted to, says Vern, although they've just helped them a little bit for this one. Come on, Australia. I'm going to be your Durban correspondent this afternoon, as I will be at Kings Park. Awesome, Gus. Hopefully, there's a big sellout. A lot of people in attendance for that last match between South Africa and Argentina. We will be also covering that one on the channel. Bernard Foley, he's got that kick over, so that is 7 points less that South Africa need to be able to score. And also, we have told you, Green Bottles working for the Aussies, says Tapuna, and also do New Zealand have the bonus points the same. They do currently have it in 1 try. Let's get another. Buck can't trust them, says Werner. And also stick the boot on, says Gibbs, and All Crusaders points haul for the ABs. What a grand team effort, though. And WGF is going on with the Aussies. Come on, guys, get your act together. Deny New Zealand that bonus point, says On the Fly. So it seems to be a lot of Australians want to see South Africa winning the Rugby Championship, whereas a lot of, that's a big drop. Actually, it's a little bit of a split. Some Australians want to see New Zealand win it. Some Australians want to see South Africa win it. And I'm missing something. Bonus point is still on. Penalty try counts towards the bonus point. It certainly does. So the All Blacks, they have still got that bonus point, but 1 more try would take it away. So Australia certainly need to make sure that they get another try before the end of this contest. Aussie's no good so far. And what is the next match you are doing? The next match is going to be an NRL live stream. That is going to be at about 9:50 p.m. New Zealand time. The Panthers versus the Rabbitohs. That is over on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. I highly recommend checking that out for anyone who doesn't know about that channel. And also AB's good, says Fortnite. And also go ABs, says Lorraine. And hoping Aussie gets walloped, but do enough just to cancel the bonus point, just to see the championship interesting until the end, says JK Oliver. See, that's the thing. Even if New Zealand still get the bonus point, if Australia can somehow find their way a little bit back into it for points differential, that could be massive for South Africa. If they only need to beat Argentina by, let's say, 25 points, rather than needing to beat them by 50, it's going to be a massive difference. Second time they have been warned in the scrum for the front row collapsing, that time against Alan Alalatoa, and that is going to be now a kick for touch. And also we have got there, are you doing the com match? I assume you are talking about Connacht versus the Stormers. That is going to be a little bit later on in the evening, but we will be covering that one as well. And also Buddy the Toki will come out of the works now, says the Puna. And also, the World Cup's out. Good luck getting that from under Sam's bed. Mr. JJ now, Samasoni Takiaho. What can he do here? His first line out of the day. He's been getting better. That one wasn't the straightest I've ever seen, but it's going to be straight enough. It's the call from the referee, Takiaho, the leading try scorer in the competition. Well shut down by Cadron Neville, who gets on him. Savia trying to rip it away. This does look like it's going to be stuck. And Australia, or do they? No, it's going to become a rolling ball. The AB's pure grit and determination to try and get it over the line, but it is going to be going back for a scrum feed in favour of the Wallabies. It was great work from Cadron Neville. We haven't seen a huge amount of him throughout this game, but he's done very nicely. And also we have got there too much for the live bro in there from Plan B. And also we have got a new member on the channel. It is Debbie Lee Schumacher. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Thank you very much for becoming a member. And also commentating the Joseph Parker fight. I will not be. I'll probably end up being asleep at that stage, as we would have been up all night and possibly close to the 24 hours. But a couple of South African fans in attendance at Eden Park looking at this game closely. The All Blacks, in fact, they took it about Australia. In the last 20 minutes of a game, Australia have scored 65 points, the first out of any side in the Rugby Championship. They will be looking to continue that in this contest as well. And also we have got there, I'll be on for that match. Good luck to the Irish team this weekend, says Connor Crowley. But yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've still got another 3 or 4 live streams that we are going to be doing. Oh, it's dropped. 1 metre out for the line. Tom Wright has dropped it cold. It becomes a penalty for the All Blacks. Savia wants it. Akira Ioane's looking for it. Nick White wouldn't give it up. And now they've got to be careful here. If Akira Ioane loses his temper, the penalty is going to be reversed. Cannot afford to do so. How do I become a member? Says Lauren. So pretty much it is on the channel homepage. You will see a button that says join, and that is the best way to do it. You will get access to the exclusive emojis that you see every once in a while coming through the chat, such as that New Zealand logo, and also a few of the other ones. Akira needs to go now, says Golden Guest. And what time left? So currently it is 16 minutes left in this contest. I predict a big brawl near the end of the game, says Sir Michael Kiriwani, though, straight over the ball. Now from there, if you want to take it quickly, you're not going to get to. Nick White had that ball well and truly secured. And Nick White always wasting time, says OB and Kiwi won. Says Ashok, they may have won, but can they get themselves the bonus point? I think is the big question a lot of people are asking. Rolling more here. Tupavai at the back. That's going to be another one for the All Blacks. And Tupavai gets over. He's only been on the field for a very short moment. And now that is going to be another one for the Kiwis. Australia will now need 2 tries to be able to cancel out the bonus point of the ABs. But Tupavai done very nicely there. And like I mentioned, he's only been on the field for approximately... No, it's Takiaho. Of course it was. Saw Tupavai in the middle. Samasoni. Takiaho, though, the leading try scorer of the competition, continuing to score tries for fun. Gave all the credit to Tupavai there. I did see him early. Was it him? It might have been, wasn't it? No, I saw the number 18. I couldn't see the bottom of it. I was actually looking at Nepo Lalala, so I had an absolute shocker there. But Samasoni Takiaho was the man who scored the try. Did I just put Takiaho as a Wallabies try scorer? Oh. One moment. We'll get rid of that. We'll go there. We'll stick him on the right side of the draw. We'll take him. Okay, Tupavai has now made his way out onto the field just to make it a little bit easier for myself. 5 tries against 1, says Sebastian. And also, mate, he's Tongan, says McKinney for Roger Tuasa Shek. That one's hit the post. Hasn't gone over, so the score will remain 37 points to 7. The Springboks will have to beat Argentina by 44 points at this stage to be able to win the Rugby Championship. A top 5 try scorers, Samasoni Takiaho, top of the bunch. Also just below him, Fraser McRide on 3. And also it was Juan Matan Gonzalez as the other man who is sitting on 3 as well. And, mate, they're all Kiwi, says Obi. And also, this guy's hilarious. Says, mate, do appreciate you being here, mate. We are going to be doing the South Africa versus Argentina game a bit later on tonight. If you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Only kicking that one about the 10 metres there for the Wallabies. But it has worked out for the All Blacks, as they were able to retain at Samasoni Takiaho. Do you see that Alan Alaratoa has gone off the field? And that will be for Pone Fa'amasili, who is now out there on the park. It's going to be kicked high from Finley Christie, only travelling about the 10. Or Callaway able to swat it back onto the side of the Wallabies, but Akira Ioane cleans it up. Now goes for the grubber in behind. He's got some pace. He's trying to beat Marika Conomberi in the foot race. Oh, I don't think Marika put that one down, and then it's run dead by Bernard Foley. Now, the thing is, if that wasn't put down by Marika Conomberi, which they have said that it was, but if it wasn't, that would have actually been, I believe, a penalty try and a yellow card, the way that the rule book is written. But Will Jordan, that was the next word I was going to say. It had a W in it. He is down at the moment. He is injured. Did he get it down, Marika? Yes. Did slam it down that first time because he didn't get it down the second. Oh, he didn't. He did. Oh, he might have bounced it down the second time. But yeah, like I mentioned, if not, then Bernard Foley ran that one dead. And then that actually counts as dodgy. But Will Jordan, his ankle is sore. Looks like that's going to be the end of his night. And South Africa fan here. All that's going to make me rich today. Says reality always wins. Ooh. Will Jordan, he got stuck underneath Andrew Callaway there, trying to get out of the way. He landed awkwardly on his arm, landed awkwardly on his ankle, and now Sevu Reece has made his way out onto the park. Confidence is a build now in that lead up the mighty and get penalty try, says Obi. Okay, it's a knock on, it's a scrum. So who? The second one, Marika Conomberi, has actually knocked on, so it's going to be a 5-metre scrum for the All Blacks here. Now, question. If he's tried to force it down and it's a knock-on, back to my original statement, Bernard Foley ran it dead. Is that enough of an overturning factor to make it then a penalty to the All Blacks? Okay, the TMO has confirmed. I've probably got that rule around the wrong way, by the way. So don't take it too personally for that one. 10 handling errors for Australia compared to the 2 of the All Blacks. That has certainly been costing them big here. And no big calls for Will's injury. Glad it's good break for the Northern Hemisphere. Stomping at $61 for the Aussies to win. They certainly need a big one. And piss off. He ran it dead, says Mr. JJ. And there's an Aussie. We've got that as New Zealand won the bonus point, says Josh Pennington. And also Josh Yestav asking, says Werner. At this stage, they have got themselves 2 tries more. So if Australia get 2 more tries, that is going to be a cancelled out bonus point. But if New Zealand get another try here, you'd have to say they have got it secured. And also we have got there, and the chat, what team do you want to win, says Troy. I was hoping it would be a close game, which is certainly not what we have got here. And also we have got there Tongan or Samoan, says Wav Guy. I assume that's not for myself, as I only really know Fa'amalosi, Samoa, and also Tosoviti, the only Fijian and Samoan that I know. And man, who cares about the championship? Just want those Australian Muppets to get humbled, says it was Gareth, and also cheer Aussies are bad, says Robert, although that wasn't quite the wording that he used. Now, Finley Christie has been shut down straight away by Nick White. He does have to release him, and he does have to try and roll away. It's going to be very tough. It's actually going to be the penalty to Australia. Okay. Someone made a little bit of a mistake there. I believe it was Finley Christie to get that one wrong. And also Australia Rugby is dead, says Michael. And also Caleb Clark says EG. And also get Roger Tuivasa Sheik on. Hamish says Uncle. So they did end up bringing out Sevu Reece as the player that they went with in the replacement. But now sounds like maybe Roger Tuivasa Sheik isn't too far off. Hoskins Satutu making his way out there. One of the Blues boys off the bench. That is for Akira Ioane. I hear a cheer. Is that because Roger Tuivasa Sheik is about to make his way on the field? Not quite. They've decided they might as well give him 3 minutes at the end of the game, just so that he only gets one singular run in a tackle. Now, back across Bernard Foley. He's knocked that ball on again. Make that 11 handling errors from the Wallabies. Time left, please. There are still another 10.5 minutes in this contest. Let's go, ABs. Come on, Australia, says Josh. And constructive criticism, bro, says Mr. JD. Right. They are now making the sub of Roger Tuivasa Sheik. He has got 10 minutes to have a bit of a go. And that's for Beauden Barrett. So that means that it is going to be Geordie Barrett dropping back to 15, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck at number 12. And also we have got there, Roger will get 3 minutes waste of his time, says Mr. JJ. Exactly right. Luckily, they haven't done what we thought that they may have done, which was not use him too well. Utility back, it's written down for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. And also we have got there, Ethan has said absolute waste of space, the Wallabies. Says Ethan, and too untidy from the Wallabies. Yeah, those handling errors have certainly let them down massively throughout this matchup. Now, Finlay Christie feeding the ball in 70 minutes through in this contest on the halfway line. We may actually see Roger Tuivasa-Sheck get a carry relatively early here. So Tutu goes off to the short side. Mwanga kicks it in behind, and it will now be Tuivasa-Sheck and Rieko Ioane, although Reece Hodge does decide to take the mark. And controversy is always good for post-mortems, says Robert Smith. And also Roger Tuivasa-Sheck be better in 13, says Weed as an appreciation for your good work. Hi from Japan, says Paul Stewart. Do appreciate you being here, mate. Very much appreciated. All you guys, actually, what is the time in Japan? Is it currently in the afternoon or somewhere around lunchtime? Do let me know. I think it's somewhere around there, though. And also, we get that Eden Park is not called the undefeated fortress for nothing. And the Wallabies not even at the All Blacks level. That was a big shot from Sever Reece on Reece Hodge. There's a lot of Reeses in that sentence, I just realised. Have I not realised that till this point, that Reece Hodge's first name is the same as Sever Reece's last name? It's a learning experience, this one. Angus Bell have a bit of a run forward. I don't think anyone's first name's Bell out there, but good work from Nepo Lalala, I thought, but I believe it's going to be for straight over the top off his feet. Okay, no, sorry. Nepo Lalala was good, 20 was not. So that's Hoskins Tutu who's been penalised there. And 5:51 p.m. in Japan, and it's never a close game at Eden Park. And also we have got their own Yo game over. ABs have the Rugby Championship box. We have to defeat RGs by 44 points and a bonus point. Ridiculous ask. Ridiculous, but not impossible. New Zealand beat Argentina by 50. We need to remember that. South Africa, they're a tough side. I like the way that this is setting up because we're going to see some incredible attacking rugby from the box. Now, nice work. Wallabies win the penalty. Angus Bell. Now, this is a good opportunity for the Wallabies. Now, Nick White cannot ask for a penalty for time wasting when someone's accidentally kicked the ball away or purposely kicked the ball away. But at the end of the day, Nick White held on to that ball for a good few seconds when the All Blacks wanted a quick tap from 5 metres out. So, you know, it goes both ways. Bernard Foley kicking it downfield this time, wanting to find the touchline. Beautiful kick from Foley. 10 metres out from the line now. They are going to have themselves. Wow, that's a big shot. The arm wrap from Sever. Oh, head on head. Actually, maybe a yellow card for Sever Reece. And that one in the box have got fire in their eyes, says Mr. Toad. And also nice game, says Alfunga as well. Now thrown in by Falau Fainga'a. Nice ball off to Pete Samu. Papali makes the low tackle. He almost had to tackle the referee. Now another good tackle made. Wallabies only a few metres out. Big Pone Farmasili. Nice work there. Get those extra little bit of meterage. Now Angus Bell having to run it sideways. He's tackled hard by Ofa Tuangafasi, one of the first tackles we've seen from that man since returning into the All Black side. Valentini almost held up in a maul. Now nice run from Len Ikitau, almost breaking through that All Black side. Sever Reece on the ball. He does it so well for the Crusaders, and he's been able to do it again for the ABs. Now Finlay Christie, Tuangafasi. Wide cutout pass from Hoskins to Tutu, bit of space. Caleb Clark running hard, the bump off of Tom Wright. Now Reece Hodge has been able to make the tackle on him. Now off to Tupavai. Sitting about 30 metres out from their own line here. Christie goes back to Geordie Barrett. There is a player down for the Wallabies in the back play, so it is going to be 14 on 15 just for now. Artie Savia cuts back on the inside. Pop pass after Dalton Papali starts to get the legs flowing. Christie goes to the left. 30 metres out now for the All Blacks. They are not done scoring by the looks of it, although now Papali'i is down. Finlay Christie wants to use him. No, instead he goes over his head to Artie Savia, which now means that unfortunately Papali'i, even though he's injured, has to get back up to his feet and make the tackle in the breakdown. Geordie Barrett straight at Marika Korombeti. Those two have a little bit of history. Of course, Geordie Barrett's boot left a mark on Marika Korombeti's face in last year's Bledisloe Cup. Sever Reece tried to get the turnover. Australia, though, have been able to get that penalty. And also, we have got the way you're wearing a suit, though. It's a good question, but pretty much the times that I don't wear a suit, people are like, you should wear a suit for the big matches. So that's what we have got. We are dressed, probably a little overdressed, I guess you could say. Big shot from Caleb Clark there. And Spammers, yes, even a Cindy fan club member in there says, get our own support. This game in Griffin, New South Wales, All Blacks too good. Perfect timing now, says Obi, and also my All Blacks boys. And we need more points, says Dawit. And also looking good, brother, says Van there. So time is off. 74 minutes through this contest. If Australia score again, it makes it just a little bit easier for the Springboks, but still not very easy at all. And also North Island versus South Island was a mean game. More of that, please. Exactly right. That game was entertaining beyond belief. Everyone in Super Rugby was getting behind it. And yeah, I wish they'd do it again a little bit more often. And also, hey, I all forgot the game was even on, says Marco. That is a rough one, Johnny. But glad you are here now. We are going to be doing a few more bit later on. We are doing the NRL over on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. You just cost us the Rugby Championship, says Gareth there. Well, 2K people watching. Let's go, man. You've grown. Used to be only 100 plus of us in here, says David. Yeah, it has certainly been growing extremely quickly. And it is all down to you guys. At the end of the day, I do not have 2,000 devices that I can watch this on. So it is all down to you guys tuning in. And it is hugely appreciated. And we have got one more match a bit later on of international rugby. We've still got a couple other live streams for the URC and a bit of league as well. New Zealand sitting 10 metres out from the line, not quite claimed. It's going to be going back for an initial penalty. And there's now going to be the penalty to the All Blacks from about 30 metres out. If I was the All Blacks, I'd go for the corner. Again, the Kiwi Lads Sport, there is the link from Sebastian there. And also, where they go, All Blacks. Boy, you are the best, says it was Terapoto. And also, what are the lineups, says Caleb. So a few big changes for the All Blacks in their lineup. The main calls were probably an all-new loose forward trio with Akira Ioane, Dalton Papali'i, and also was at number 8, the return of Artie Savia in the backline. Bit of a reshuffle. Bowden Barrett at 10, Geordie Barrett at 15. Geordie Barrett at 12. And then they were kind of the big changes that they decided to make. And also Cody Taylor starting at hooker for the matchup. And Avi's in. And also we've got their game, says Jason Campbell. And what happened to the Wallabies? Unfortunately, it's just gone wrong for them in this contest. Currently sitting 37 points to 7 in favour of the All Blacks. Also, All Blacks going to fire just in time for the World Cup, says Aaron Smith in there. And how's the kicker? So Richie Mo'unga, he's sitting at 4 from 6. Bernard Foley, I don't believe has missed a kick, but that is because he's only had 1. And speaking of threes, the All Blacks are going to be going for it. They want to make it 40 points to 7. I guess trying to get more guaranteed points on the board rather than risking going for the corner. It's still an interesting tactic, though. It's going to be now 40 points to 7. I'm trying to look around to see if I recognize anyone who is at the ground for the game. And also, hi, says Yako, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well indeed. And who is the kicker? So Richie Mo'unga was the kicker for New Zealand. And also, we've got their pipe down with the politics. People, cheers, says Sebastian. Yeah, fair, cool. But that one, that's going to be a penalty now against the Australians for taking the player out in the air. And don't get excited, ABs. It's only the Wallabies, says Esbok. And also, we have the, yep, she's a walloping, says Mr. Toad. Yeah, a lot more one-sided than I was expecting for it. Oh, did it find touch? Yes, it did. And Research making a little mistake on the touchline there. It just gets a little bit worse for the Wallabies. Unfortunately, every time they've had a bit of a chance, sadly, it has just ended up being a drop ball. And given up watching the news due to the mainstream media, a PR spin instead of calling the facts, says Keza. And also we have got there from David the Mod. Okay, everybody, please donate so you can all enjoy more Kiwi Lad streams. Although we will mention, if you don't want to donate, it is fine. We are still going to be streaming anyway. We have got another 4 tonight. The NRL, we've also got our post-match review. That was going to be starting in 2 minutes' time. We're actually going to maybe have to delay that a little bit, depending on how it goes. No, we might make the 9 o'clock if we're lucky. Actually, no, we won't. I think it's going to be too close. We will have to change that to 9:05, but we might start a couple minutes earlier on. And after this live stream, we'll actually transfer you guys straight over to that post-match review that we are doing on the main channel. And also we have got there, Save It Dion, and there as well. And also we have got there, Why Rush the Pass, says John. Now, the scrum feed going the way of the Australians. They have got this ball about 28 metres out from their line points table, bro. So with this one, it would mean that the Wallabies will be sitting on 14. No, sorry. They'll be sitting on 10 at the end of the comp, and the All Blacks will be sitting on 19. The Springboks on 14. They still need another bonus point, though, for the Boks. Also, no excuse. All Blacks too good. And also, we have there, why is that guy still walking in blood? says Golden Guest. Is that Geordie Barrett we are talking about? And also we got the all good brother David. And as I'm now looking out the back, it's going to be Tom Wright up to the halfway line. And it's dried up already, says Golden Guest. Cadron Neville back to Callaway. Ponefar Masili hits it hard at the line. He lost it, says Tupavai, or says the referee to Tupavai. So he will not get away with that one. Kia ora, Kazi David. I spent the night in Rotorua today visiting my nan. And I was insane YouTube watching 2,100 years. A very large live stream, that is for sure. Nick White goes back across now to Falau Whainga'a. Looking for the offload, bro. Good one. To Tom Wright there. Penalty to the Wallabies. 30 seconds left. They cannot cancel out the bonus point for the All Blacks, but they can score themselves one more try just to take a little bit of that points differential off the first place side. Sweet ABs look good, says the Guru YouTube, and also now I'm sad, good game ABs, says Kobus. Although, like I mentioned, the All Blacks bet the Pumas by 50. If the Springboks bet the Pumas by 50 here, they would win the Rugby Championship. Last try wins, says the Uso, as Roger Tuivasa-Sheck touched the ball. Not really, I don't think. I don't think he's had any running medals. He's made a tackle, I believe we've seen from Tuivasa-Sheck, or he's at least been involved in a breakdown. He might have to make one here, though. And don't forget to like and subscribe. People get around the Kiwi Lads, says Sebastian. Yeah, anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated. You guys all being here for this live stream. Turnovers conceded. 19 turnovers from the Wallabies. That is massive for a game of 80 minutes. Nice work from the All Blacks. It's gone straight to ground. Now Fraser McWright trying to make a couple of extra meters there. Nick White giving a right spanking to Hoskins Atutu, getting him out of the way. Couple meters out. Nick White goes back across the big Pone. Farmasili. Now New Zealand, if they win this ball at any stage here, I believe they would just look to kick this ball out rather than risking trying to run right down the field. Although that's the thing with the All Blacks. Sometimes they get a bit excited and they may consider that as an option. Was that a drop ball by Nick White? It was close to one. Now the ball on the outside. Tamarika Korombedi. Has he got the gap? He's bumped off Finlay Christie, who has sacrificed his body to stop Marika. Now Nick White across to Cadron Neville. Good low tackle made by Geordie Barrett, who dives back over the ruck. He actually was assisted by the Wallabies player there. Worked out quite well. Rieko Ioane tries to get on the ball. Doesn't win the turnover. Now Fraser McWright, the second leading try scorer in the competition. Nick White goes across. Geordie Pataya between the sticks, scores it. But it does not cancel out the bonus point. But it does mean that it's going to be just a little bit harder. Or a little bit easier, I should say, for the South Africans to get a bit closer. It's still going to be an awesome game. We are going to be covering it on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. As soon as this game is over, we will be going over to our post-match review, in which we will be discussing what pretty much the implications of this competition are going to be because of this loss. Are the Wallabies dropping to 10th place? Not too sure how they sit on the world rankings currently, but it is by more than 16. So that is one of those ones that does make it a bit tricky. And also, can you put like and subscribe button on screen to increase subs? Says coding there. My software that I use at the moment doesn't actually have that option, but maybe in the future can look into it. But the All Blacks will win this game 40 points to 14. So a 26-point win. That means now that it is going to be sitting at 28 points. Or sorry, not 28. 26 plus 14 pretty much. The Springboks have to win it by 40 points. And also, we have got a very angry, Tiboho. Hopefully I've said that correctly, although I don't really care. He has said, show the match. It's available on many streaming softwares, mate. You just have to get the gorse out your pockets and watch it. We have got, would have been ideal if they hadn't conceded that try, but ABs have done their job regardless. And damn Aussies to 10th. Rugby has changed, says Carl there. And beautiful man, love you, Hammy. And also, what will the sports headlines in Australian newspapers be tomorrow? Probably about the AFL Grand Final. And they might not look too much at this Wallabies performance, other than, I guess you're going to have to say, the handling errors really just let them down hugely. And Awesome Live Commentary was a great game, says Woosha there. And also we have got their player of the match, says Mr. JJ. I mean, Caleb Clark's got to be up there, although a couple of other players did very nicely as well. Cheers, Hamish, once again, fella, says Theo. And also we got there, what a failure for Australia, says John Smith. Yeah, quite disappointing to see how much of a difference it is, but it just means that the Springboks are going to have to work that little bit harder to be able to get themselves the victory in the Rugby Championship. Geordie Barrett's still bleeding at this stage. And can you get George to grow a mo for November? He's actually got one. Unfortunately, though, it grows blonde, so he can't actually see. And I was, Miss Jojo, I don't think I can read that one out for that message. And thanks, Hamish. Kiwi Lads awesome commentary, says Demi. Hugely appreciated. And now we are going to be transferring over to our next live stream, which is our post-match review for this matchup. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.